A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
And now, the life of Mary Sothern. Yesterday, Dr. John Benson had to tell Max that his friend Cheney had died of injuries received in the prison fire. Max is stunned by the news, and the fact that Cheney died heroically is of little comfort to him. Dr. Benson and Dr. Tracy, prison surgeons, are fearful that this sad news may have a serious effect upon Max's health, especially now that Max is not recovering from his injuries as rapidly as he should. Dr. Benson has his troubles, too. Merlin Davis, who has great influence with the workers in the town of Sanders, has threatened to have Dr. Benson discharged from his clinic if little Betty Dillon, Davis's niece, does not recover from an infection in her knee. Dr. Benson, however, is more concerned over Max, since the warden has just filed a detailed report of the prison fire, naming Swede Lawson and Max Sanders as chronic troublemakers at the state prison. Swede and Max, the warden claims, set the prison on fire in order to make their escape. It is early the next afternoon at County Hospital. Dr. Benson and Dr. Tracy are seated at a table in the sunroom, mapping a campaign to checkmate the warden's false report of the prison fire.
But confound it, Dr. Benson. I say let's give our side of it to the papers this afternoon.
Now, just a minute, Dr.
Benson, I say let's get started on this thing immediately.
Now, Tracy, let's go into this with our eyes open.
My eyes are wide open. I see so much treachery and double dealing, it makes me sick. We've got to stop Warden Bird within the next 24 hours.
Of course. But, Doctor, look at it my way. I don't want to rush into anything that might work against us later on. I have too much at stake if the warden wins out.
You have too much at stake. Good heavens, I'm willing to risk my job, my reputation, everything.
I understand, Dr. Tracy.
But you, I have a wife and children. You have no family.
No, I suppose I haven't. Although I'd like to think of all those children back there at the clinic who depend on me.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to be rude, but confound it, I've always believed in striking while the iron is hot, and that time is now.
That's the blacksmith in you, Tracy.
Well, I believe in speaking up. Saying my say and getting it over with.
Now, let's look at it this way. You want to call in the reporters and give them the whole story at once.
Exactly.
But what could we say to them?
Oh, I, for one, would accuse Warden Bird of being a thief and a liar.
And do you have the proof all neatly outlined? Would you file a complete report on what you know of the warden's mismanagement of state prison?
Well, that might take, say, a week or 10 days. But in the meantime...
we'd be left high and dry, with no organized statement and the warden holding the ace cards.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Benson. But I believe in beating your opponent to the punch, always.
But don't you see, Dr. Tracy, the warden has already beaten us to the punch. The first one, at least.
Benson, you're right. Absolutely right. We've got to think ahead to the next move.
Thanks, Dr. Tracy. Thought you see my point.
Oh, I don't mind owning up when I'm in the wrong. Just hate to see that warden put one over on us, that's all.
Right. Now, the warden's accusation will get into the papers this evening. We can't stop that, except to keep the news from Max. The shock might do him grave injury.
I've warned everyone not to say a word.
Now, let's consider the odds against us. First, if we can't beat the warden, Max's name will be hopelessly blackened forever, whether he lives or dies.
Yes? Go on.
In the next place, Swede's parole will never come through if he's suspected of having aided in such a crime.
Yes, he's up for the parole board next month. Well, we've got to stop this in a hurry.
Take it easy, Doctor. As you said, your reputation is at stake because you were on the firing line when all this happened.
Well, I'm willing to risk everything, Dr. Benson, everything.
Never thought you'd look at it that way.
You yourself, Dr. Benson, have a great deal to lose if we can't refute the warden's story.
Yeah, I thought of all that, too. Gerald Pruce will persuade Merlin Davis and the hospital board that I shirked my duty at the clinic to come to the aid of Mary's husband and his fellow convicts. Jailbirds, as Pruce so nicely puts it.
They can't get away with this.
And Gerald Pruce has already told me that nothing would please him better than to have me dismissed from the clinic.
He said that?
Well, in so many words. But that's neither here nor there. We do have one thing in our favor, Tracy. The papers are full of the story of the prison fire, and Max, Swede, and Cheney are being praised from one end of the state to the other.
Yes, that's right. And when the Prisoners' Aid Society hears of the warden's trickery, we'll have the most outstanding citizens on our side.
Can't depend too much upon well-wishers, though they'll help, of course.
Hello. It's Swede out in the hall. I can see him through the glass.
Sit still, Doctor. I'll let him in.
Well, Swede, thought you were in your room, sparking that pretty little nurse.
Oh, Doc, you're fooling, no? I just thought I'd take this buggy for workout.
Well, Swede, we're having a little war conference here.
Perhaps I'd better tell you, Swede.
It's okay, Doc. I read all about it in the morning papers.
You didn't let Max see that paper?
Well, no, sir. I knew it had upset him.
Oh, good. Max mustn't hear a word of this until he's entirely well.
Swede, what do you know about this whole mess that Warden Bullard cooked up?
Tell Dr. Benson what you told me last week, Larson. You know, just before the fire.
Well, there's not much to tell. Food was getting worse and worse. Not much of it, but we couldn't have eaten any more of it anyhow, I guess. The blankets on the bed were, well, not what you could call clean or fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was getting pretty sore, but we didn't say anything.
And then, as I understand it, you, Max, and Cheney were appointed by the prisoners to talk to the warden.
Yes, sir. That's how I first got acquainted with Max and Cheney. Well, we went up there on special permission, and the warden was up there waiting for us, looking like he just swallowed vinegar.
Firm believer in strict discipline, as he called it.
I see.
Then Max spoke up. He took off his cap and talked like a gentleman, too, and told the warden we'd have a couple of matters we'd like to bring to his attention if he didn't mind.
How'd he take it?
Well, he bit another chunk out of his cigar and did sort of funny like, "Well, boys, what's on your mind?" Max told him that the food was getting worse every day and the beds weren't clean. The fellas were afraid of a fire.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we were working with celluloid, making handles for pocket knives. You see, only the blades were put on outside the prison.
I see. Well, so what did the warden say to all that?
Well, he put down a cigar and then he leaned over his desk and he says, "Listen, you fellas ain't in here for no picnic. You're enemies of society, plain ordinary jailbirds." He said that to us, Doc.
No. Take it easy, Swede.
Well, exactly, Doc. We fellas weren't any angels, but, well, we were entitled to some consideration. Well, I told him, I said, "We're human beings. You shouldn't talk to us like that." And he said, "I'll talk to you any way I like. I won't stand for insubordination from the likes of you."
Yes, ma'am.
And then he took one look at me and he said, "I'll teach you a lesson you won't forget." And then he put me in solitary for 10 days.
Dr. Tracy, I'll have a stenographer sent in to take down Swede's statement in full, and I'll have it notarized immediately.
And I'll prepare my report at once.
Let them have their lying headlines. We'll give them papers with a real story.
By George, I think I'm going to enjoy this scratch. We'll show him a thing or two ourselves.
Gee, Doc Benson, I'll bet you can do it, too.
We'll just bet we can.
Oh, Mr. Sanders.
How do you do, Mrs. Sanders? Oh, here. Sit down here by the window.
Mary, I thought you were at home.
John, why didn't you tell me? Why did you let me find it out first from this newspaper?
Mary, believe me, I learned it only myself yesterday, after you'd gone home to the children of Phyllis.
Those ugly lies spread over the country about Max. John, you could have stopped them.
Mary, how can you say that to me?
I do think you're being a little unfair, Mrs. Sanders. Believe me, Dr. Benson has been doing all he can.
Why must this thing happen to us? What has Max ever done to be so hounded? Hasn't he always been kind and good to everyone? It's not right, I tell you.
There now, Mary. We'll stick by you and Max no matter what happens. We'll lick this thing yet.
John, how can they? Just before I left home, Gerald Bruce came to the house with a newspaper in his hand.
Gerald Bruce. What now?
He wanted to buy my stock in Sanders' interest at 1/5 its real value. Said he'd get it all sooner or later because Max and I were a disgrace to the town.
Victory seems very near for Gerald Bruce. How like him to strike at Mary in such a way as...
A pack of Avalon cigarettes, please.
Yes, sir.
Oh, just a moment, sir. Don't forget your change. You never guessed, but Avalon's cost you less.
Oh, my God, always Avalon, with
Good evening, friends. Good evening. This is Del King saying welcome to Avalon Time with greetings from Red Foley and the entire company. But first tonight, we want you to meet a man who is so punctual in his habits that he carries a watch in his hip pocket. He wants to be ahead of time. Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a lot, and good evening, everybody. By the way, that introduction was made by Del King, who is the winner of the NBC announcers. That is a mustache derby they had last week. No kidding. Old Mustache Del, we call him now. He won first prize. He has a mustache that's so big, every time he sneezes, it cracks like a whip. Oh, see, all the announcers on NBC, though, they have mustaches. That sort of helps them brush up on their English. But this morning, as we were coming out of the Motherland Plaza Hotel alley, I stopped into a place to get me a new spring suit. I wanted one of those English eating suits for $35, but the guy sold me one that was moth-eaten for $7.50. Really got a nice bargain, though. The guy threw in 14 straw hats and a pair of yellow button shoes. Hello there, microphone.
Hello there, Guillotine Skelton.
Guillotine Skelton?
Yeah, you're a pain in the neck.
It was very unfunny tonight, my good friend, but you don't bother me. I feel great. I just got back from Florida. I was down there for a week's vacation at a place called Panhandler's Rest. What a place. You got to tip everybody. Even the coconut trees hold out their palms. Inexpensive? No kidding. It was so high class they served frog's legs with spat. There were a lot of the hotel, though. There's the place, a European plan hotel, and they have 4 clerks on the desk. 2 to give you your bill and 2 to revive you. It was a European plan hotel, but they made you pay cash for everything. I didn't know they made you pay cash in Europe. I know one guy in Europe who's getting everything from checks. We had a lot of fun down there, though. I went swimming. There's a lot of people on the beach. I love to swim. I used the politician stroke, the underhand method. There were 2 old-time Republicans standing on the beach, and one of them said, "Say, if Dewey runs for president, you think he'll use the same slogan he used at Manila Bay? Remember the Maine?" The Democrat standing by says, "I don't think so. The Democrats been using that one for the last 3 years, only they enlarged on it. Remember the Maine and Vermont." Oh, they put a little life in the show. Phil Davis and the boys going to play a number. What are you going to play, Phil?
Well, it's going to be Begin the Begin. Right?
Begin. song helps out a little there, too. That was Phil Davis, ladies and gentlemen, playing the beginning, hello there, Peter Grant. How are you?
How are you?
Yeah, you sure look happy tonight.
Boy, I am happy, Red. I was walking through the park today, and it was beautiful.
Yeah?
Everything reminded me of Avalon cigarettes.
Yeah. Oh, now, Peter, not that.
Yeah, sure, even the day itself, Red. You see, today is 3 to 5 days less than spring. And Avalon, you know, costs 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands. And believe me, Red, a saving like that turns into real money in a surprisingly short time.
That last part didn't have anything to do with the park, did it?
No, that was just Avalon. But today was such a perfect blend of a day, Red. It was so extra smooth, delightfully mild, and thoroughly enjoyable, just like...
Avalon.
Yes.
I must miss an awful lot when I go to the park. I never see any of those things.
Why, you know, Red, even the bubbling fountain seemed to be saying, they're 100% union-made, from mellow, ripe Turkish and domestic tobaccos that have been aged in wood to completely bring out their rich, full flavor.
Say, that bubbling brook show is doing a lot of babbling, wasn't it?
You know what, Red? You know, I think I saw a robin redbreast.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. And he looked as pretty as a pack of, guess what?
Let's see. Avalon?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. You know, and the little fellow seemed to be chirping, you'd never guess, they cost you less. You'd never guess, they cost you less. And you know, Red, unconsciously I said to myself, the next time, old man, ask for Avalons and save the difference. And then, just at that moment, a bell rang out in the steeple.
Oh, how convenient.
I could have sworn, Red, I heard Mary Jane say...
And don't forget your change.
Well, that's possible. Say, what part of the park did this all happen in?
Right near the bridle path.
That explains it. With all those horses around, you couldn't get your mind off a plug.
Right.
Star of Avalon Time, Red Foley.
Well, thank you, Del, and good evening, friends. I always figured one of the nicest places to be is on the sunny side of the street, and here is why. Grab your coat, get your hat, leave your worry on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear a pitter-pat? And that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Oh, life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Oh, gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street.
Hello, this is the office of the ill-fated S.S. Skelton. No, Mr. Skelton isn't here. He's over at the medical college attending a lecture. I think he's the subject.
Oh, Miss Stillwell. Say, you should have been over at the lecture with me. Oh, what a bunch of silly doctors. One doctor looked at me and he says, I'll bet you $1 you're dead. I was afraid to bet. By the way, here's your salary for the past 8 weeks.
Gee, can I touch it, or isn't the money dry yet?
It's good. The judges of the movie quiz contest awarded me a $1,000 booby prize. I didn't have one answer correct. Here, I brought you a present.
Oh, you shouldn't have done it.
Oh, it's all right.
What is it?
Well, I heard you say you eat a lot of chocolate, so I brought you a box to keep them in.
You shouldn't have done that.
Oh, that's all right. I want it on a punch board. Say, if you don't mind, I'd like to take you to a nightclub tonight, if you're not doing anything.
If I'm going to the club, I'll go with Phil Davis.
You mean the old armchair?
Why does everybody call him the old armchair?
He's overstuffed.
Well, he might be overstuffed, but at least he doesn't make me split the check.
Yeah. Well, I'm going out tonight, and I think I'll go formal. You better call up my butler and tell him to lay out a complete change of stock.
Your butler?
Yeah.
What do you need with a butler?
Well, I need somebody. I'm getting too big for my mother to dress me.
Why don't you open up a bank account with the rest of that $1,000?
What $1,000? I only got $600 left. I made a payment on my automobile. Just think, 2 more payments and I can drive it in the daytime.
All right, the payment was $2.
Yeah.
Now, what did you do with the other $400?
Well, if you really must know, Nosy, I made a few wise investments.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean, uh-oh? You won't believe this, but for $200 I bought controlling interest in the Chicago River.
That's great. How about me getting in touch with Grover Whalen? Maybe you can buy the main gate at the World's Fair and charge admission.
What are you trying to do, kid me? What, do I look dumb or something? I already bought it.
Oh, hello, Mr. Skelton.
Well, Ethelbert, how are you?
Just fine, thank you. The landlord sent me up to collect the rent. I know I'm not going to get it, but I've done my duty.
Well, you're going to get your rent this week. Here's $50.
Oh, good heavens, the old clown has money. My, we're living in a days of miracles.
Yes,
this week you're paying the rent, and last week Brooklyn won a ball game.
That is a miracle.
Well, I've got to dash now. A lady told me to go to Devil 5 minutes ago, and I've only 3 minutes left. Well, so goodbye.
Well, if I'm going anywhere tonight, I better get to work here. Miss Stillwell, take a letter to the Home for Stray Cats. Enclosed, you'll find a donation of $10.
$10 for stray cats?
Yes, I'm doing it for the kiddies.
Mr. Skelton, I believe.
Hello, Broom. What do you hear from the mop?
My name is Snoodgrass, but you can call me Snood and cut the grass.
Yeah. I'm glad to know you. My name's Skelton, but you can call me Skelton and cut the ad-libbing.
That was a good one. Is this lovely lady your secretary?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's something familiar about you.
Yeah, it's you.
I represent the Fly-By-Night Bird Company. Dealers in rare birds.
You stick around here, you'll get plenty of rare birds.
Now, if you lend me your pencil, I'll show you how we can make a lot of money.
Okay.
Now, we buy birds for $1 and we sell birds for $100. Not much of a profit, but we'll be satisfied with our 1%.
Well, that sounds very interesting. You know, I'm crazy about birds. I bought a parrot once. It turned out to be a crow with gangrene. Say, I'd like to go in business with you.
This is a suicide pack if I ever heard one.
Yeah. Don't pay any attention to her. She's punch drunk.
I am not. I never touch the stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Skelton, we can make a lot of money in this bird business.
Yes, we should make a lot of money in bird business if we watch the overhead. Here's $200 cash. Will you take me in for that?
You're took. Thank you. I'll be on my way.
Mr. Skelton, are you going to let him get away with that? He
Right.
takes your pencil,
Yeah.
shows you nothing, and you give him $200.
Yeah.
Don't you realize the man is stealing from you?
Yeah, how about that? Hey, come back here, you. Just a minute. What do I look like, a sap or something? What are you coming in here trying to pull those fast tricks on me? Now, you give me back my pencil.
Tonight, Jeanette sings a lover's lament. It seems love flies out the window when the masquerade is over.
Your eyes don't shine like they used to shine, and the thrill is gone when your lips meet mine. I'm afraid the masquerade is over. And so is love, and so is love. Your words don't mean what they used to mean. They were once inspired, now they're just routine. I'm afraid the masquerade is over, and so is love, and so is love. I guess I'll have to play Pagliacci and get myself a clown's disguise and learn to laugh like Pagliacci with tears in my eyes. You look the same, you're a lot the same, but my heart says no, no, you're not the same. I'm afraid the masquerade is over, and so is love, and so is
Bob Strong was wild to arrange it. Bill Davis and the boys are wild to play it. We hope you're wild about it, too. It's Runnin' Wild.
Friends, you never pass up a bargain, do you? I mean a real bargain where you get identically the same merchandise for less. We all want as much for our money as possible, and for this reason, we believe there was a definite need for a quality cigarette that sold for less. A quality cigarette, mind you, not simply a low-priced cigarette, but a cigarette that would more than satisfy the demand of you smokers of popular-priced brands. Avalon's are truly the answer. Highest quality cigarettes costing 3 to 5 cents less per pack. 3 to 5 cents less. But you'd never guess they cost you less. They're 100% union-made from the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos the world affords. You could want no finer cigarettes, regardless of price, regardless of brand. Friends, you owe it to yourself to give Avalons a trial because you are the one who has so much to gain. Millions upon millions of other smokers are switching to Avalons and are getting more for their money. Why not get more for your money? The next time, ask for Avalons and save the difference.
Say, Mr. Skelton, what's this I hear about you buying an antique shield that belonged to King Arthur?
What do you mean, King Arthur? You mean King Arthur Skelton?
Uh-oh. Here it comes, folks. I'll bet King Arthur was one of your ancestors.
Well, if you don't believe me, ask the old historian, Del King. Historian. Historian, Del King.
That's more like it.
That mustache is fuzzing my words.
You know, he's right, Miss Stillwell, and to prove it, I'll set the scene so that Red can tell the story. Okay, Red?
Okay, Del. What music?
The time, the year 452. The place, King Arthur Skelton's palace in Old Britain. As the scene opens, we find King Arthur Skelton, dressed in his armored suit, pacing the floor, talking to his secretary, Lady Stillwell.
What are you holding your stomach for, King Arthur? Is there something wrong with you?
Yeah, I've lost the rivet that holds my pants up. See, when I was first married, the Queen used to rivet all kind of fancy metal work on my armor. Now she don't care if I run around my bare tin.
How is the Queen?
Oh, I don't know. I don't ever see her anymore. She won't even cook me any victuals to warm my innards. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, you're either going to learn to cook or starve to death.
Last night I came... What happened to that one, Freddie? That's my rider, folks, Freddie. We had an argument. He says, that'll kill him. The house will come down. Worse, he was here, let it come down on him. Last night I went home... Uh-oh, Key said you're fired. Last night I went home for supper, and what do you think? There was Sirloin Slop Foley. She was sitting on his lap. You know what I think? She's lap-happy. Boy, am I hungry. See how I'd love to sit down at that round table and eat a square meal.
Well, why don't you do something about getting the Queen back? What are you, a man or a mouse?
I don't know, but I'm pretty fond of cheese.
Attention, everybody! Her Majesty, Guinevere, Queen of all Britain, formerly President of the Bessicans and the daughter of the King of the... now entering through door 4.
I wonder if she's got a diner on her train.
Hello there, Artie boy. My, you've lost a lot of weight, haven't you?
That's my sword. I'm over here. Of all the insulting remarks, comparing me with a sword.
Why not? You both have a temper.
Yeah. You said it, Guinevere, and if you don't stop running around and start fixing me some food, I'm going to use it.
What, your temper?
No, the sword.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Guinevere, the way you treat Arthur. I wish he were mine.
One more wish and you got him.
Guinevere, you loved me until you met that Sirloin Slot Foley. I even saw you give him a kiss.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I saw you.
Well, who are you going to believe, me or your eyes?
I've had enough of this, Lady Stillwell. Get my coat. The one that has the 24 sleeves in it.
24 sleeves?
Get my coat of arms. I'm going to challenge this Sirloin Slot Foley to a joust. Joust.
Sirloin Slot Foley, knight of King Arthur's round table.
Hi, Gwen. Hello, Art. Hi, Still.
Hiya, Slot.
Say, Artie, why are you looking daggers at me?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's my dual personality. I just messed up a word a while ago. I was going to challenge you to a joust.
Who's
dribble over my words, so we'll have to fight you a drool, I guess.
Say, who's going to challenge? Who's going to challenge who to joust?
I'm challenging you.
Okay, I joust. Wanted to make sure.
Why, you miserable knight, you don't know it, but your day's come.
Say, pardon me while I fling my gauntlet in your face.
Ooh, hey, the next time, take your fist out of that glove. That settles it. Now, get yourself a spear. We'll settle this tournament fashion.
Okay, you red-headed dope, and when I get through with you, you'll look like an apple on a stick.
Yeah? Well, we'll settle this outside the castle walls. Grab yourself a horse. Don't take the one in the middle. He's holding the rest of them up. Come on, get up, boy. Come on. Get up there.
There they go. Here he comes.
Whoa!
Did you kill him, Arthur?
Huh?
Did you kill him?
No, I couldn't get my spear through him. Boy, that's the toughest night I ever had.
Still one of the most popular tunes of the day is the continental hit Penny Serenade. Red Foley and the Avalon Chorus give us their version of it.
Once I strayed neath the window of a lovely, lovely lady, and she smiled while I softly played my penny serenade.
See, 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 you can hear it for a penny. See, 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 just a penny serenade.
In her eyes shone the tender dawn of love and sweet surrender. As for me, in my heart I played a lover's serenade.
See, 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 hear my love song for a penny. See, 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 just a penny serenade.
In a dream so divine she was mine, no word had been spoken. When I woke from my dream she was gone, my poor heart was broken. Still I pray that wherever she may be, she will remember in her heart. She will always hear my penny serenade.
See, 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 you can hear it for a penny.
Penny serenade.
Just a penny serenade.
Just a penny serenade. Just a penny serenade.
Remember, friends, when you ask for Avalon cigarettes,
Don't forget your change.
Yes, Avalon cigarettes, dear friends, cost several cents less than others. You too can save this difference like all of us Avalon brothers. Each pack is wrapped in cellophane, each pack is union made. No wonder folks from coast to coast say Avalon's lead the parade. So why not always travel on with Avalon?
Yes, you'd never guess, but Avalon's cost only 10 cents, plus city or state tax.
The Tobacco Corporation will again present Avalon Time. Del King speaking. Good night, everybody. Avalon Time originated in the studios of the Nation Station and has reached you through the National Broadcasting Company.
Hey, Abbott, what time is it?
It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air for ABC here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
Yes, it's the Abbott and Costello Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood for your listening and laughing pleasure. Chuckles with a carload and music by Matty Malnick. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Well, it's about time you got here. Where were you?
Well, I was over my Uncle Mike's house, Abbott, and is he busy? He's got to eat biscuits for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
What's the idea?
The biscuit company is running a slogan contest, and Aunt May has to send in 1,000 box tops.
What does Uncle Mike think of the idea?
He told Aunt May to mail in the biscuits. He'd rather eat the box tops.
How did Aunt May ever meet Uncle Mike anyhow, Lou?
The first time they met, it was at the country club, and they spent the first date in the country. And the next time they met was at a swimming club, and then they went swimming. And after that, they got married, and they went to another club that influenced their lives.
What club was that?
The store club.
Well, they're quite a couple.
Oh, yes. Uncle Mike says he has only been 2 times in his life that he didn't understand Aunt May.
When was that?
Before they were married and after.
Oh, you should get married, Costello, and quit running around. Every night you wind up with a different girl.
You're right, Abbott, and I'm tired of winding up. I want to start pitching.
How are you going to...
Go ahead, we give you time.
How are you getting along with your new girl, Lou?
Oh, how am I getting along with my new girl? She's got me eating out of her hand.
She has?
Next week, she's going to buy me a dish. But I don't think I want to marry her anyway, Abbott. She wears very expensive clothes.
Oh, now, wait a minute. How do you know her clothes are expensive?
Every time I go over to her house, there's a guy in the closet guarding them.
Oh, get him out of here. Get him out.
Now, before we get back to the laugh department, let's listen to what this fella has to say.
Wait a minute. What are you doing with that rubber doll?
Huh?
What are you doing with that rubber doll?
It's a present for my sister's baby, Tony. He's 1 year old today.
Has the baby learned to walk yet?
Abbott, the kid is only 1 year old. He only learned how to drive the car last week.
What's the baby's name?
It's my sister's 5th baby, and she named it Ming Toy Lotus Blossom.
Ming Toy Lotus Blossom? Why did she name the child that?
She read in a big book that every 5th child born is a Chinese.
Well, never mind that, Lou. What is your sister's husband doing now?
Oh, what's he doing now? He had a little filling station. And what a filling station. But they picketed him and closed him up. Now he's opened a skunk farm.
A skunk farm?
Mm-hmm.
A skunk farm?
He figures that's one business the union won't stick their nose in.
You know, I haven't seen your brother-in-law in a long time. How is he, Lou?
You wouldn't know him, Abbott. The sands of time have changed his face.
Well, he's only a young guy. How could the sands of time change his face, Costello?
My sister belted him in a puss with an hourglass.
Where are your sister and husband living now?
Now has granulated eyelids.
Yeah. Lou, where are your sister and husband living now?
I'll let you know in a second here. In the middle of the page. They're living in Pasadena, and boy, is that a ritzy town.
Oh, no. It's not so ritzy.
Yeah, but Pasadena's so high class that they stop all the tourists at the city limit and make them rent mink coats before they can drive through town.
No, I don't believe it.
I know.
Stop. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Huh?
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
No, I don't.
My brother Pat used to drive a truck for the city of Pasadena. He told me that all the garbage he picked up was gift wrap.
Oh. You mean your brother Pat drives a garbage truck?
Oh, he's just doing that until he gets his new invention on the market. His invention will change the whole toothbrush industry.
What is it?
A tooth on a stick to clean brushes.
Costello, let's face it. Your brother's nothing but a bum.
Abbott, that's why I can't sleep at night. Thinking what a bum my brother Pat is.
Well, if you can't sleep, why didn't you count sheep?
I did. Once I counted to 10,000 sheep. I was just ready to fall asleep when along came a black sheep, and I got to thinking what a bum my brother Pat is, and I couldn't sleep the rest of the night.
Miss Costello, here's that bicycle that you ordered.
Thank you.
Hey, wait a minute. What's the idea of buying a bicycle, Costello?
I didn't want to tell you, Abbott.
Wasting your money like that, buying a bicycle. I insist that you tell me what you're going to do with it now.
Oh, well, if you must know.
I must know.
I'll tell you.
Well, tell me.
Last night I dreamed I was chasing Rita Hayworth, and I couldn't catch her. Tonight, I'm taking a bicycle to bed with me. And if that don't get her, tomorrow night, a motor goes on it.
Costello, with all the thousands of people that have no place to live and are looking for vacancies, how can you walk around with a big empty head like that?
Show me in the script where it says anything like that.
Oh, wait a minute. I can tell a joke. I'm a pretty good showman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You tell a joke like P.T. Barnum.
P.T. Barnum is dead.
You keep telling those kind of jokes, you'll join him.
I don't know. I don't know about that, Lou. My wife always laughs at my jokes. Did you ever notice those little crow's feet around her eyes? Those are from laughing at my jokes.
If those are crow's feet around your wife's eyes, the crows that made them must have been wearing baseball shoes.
How can you say that? My wife, Betty, has a beautiful face.
She's got an automobile face.
Well, what's an automobile face?
As soon as she gets the jack, she ought to have it lifted.
My wife is okay. And you'd better be off if you found a nice home. Well, you'd be much better off, Lou, if you found a nice home with a loving girl and got married yourself.
Do you know where you're at?
No. I don't. But my wife is okay. You'd be better off if you found a nice home, loving girl.
I'm lost myself now.
I found it.
I found mine. Have you got your place?
Have you got yours?
Oh, yes.
Let's go.
Let's go from scratch. My wife is okay. You'd be better off if you found a nice, home-loving girl and got married yourself.
Well, we gave you enough time to rehearse it.
That's right.
I had a home-loving girl, and I had to get rid of her.
Why?
When I wasn't around, she was home loving some other guy.
Well, you should go out more and meet some nice girls.
I'm going out tonight. There's going to be 26 girls at this party. I'm going to kiss every one of them.
Now, that's the trouble with you. You have no manners. Now, when there are 26 girls at a party and you talk about kissing, every one of them, remember, 1 dozen.
1 dozen?
No.
Well, tell me which one it is, and I'll cross her off my list. Did you get it?
No, I didn't get it.
They're lost where we were before.
Costello, you should be satisfied with 1 girl. Don't you know 1 girl that you like better than the rest?
Oh, but I saw one today that I could really go for.
Well, why don't you propose to her?
Propose to her?
Yeah.
How dare you say that to me?
Well, your father proposed to your mother?
Yes, she was my mother, but this girl is a total stranger.
Well, why don't you start courting her?
I did. I sent her some orchids.
Not orchids.
It says here orchard.
No, not orchards. Orchids. Kids,
Orchard.
kids.
Oh, sure. Probably after we're married.
No. No, you don't. You don't get the girl with orchids. You get her with orchids. Kids.
Just a minute. Where am I getting all these kids? I ain't even married yet.
You talk sense. I'm talking about orchids. Orchids are raised in a nursery.
Your kids might have been raised in a nursery, but our kids are going to be raised at home.
No. You don't understand. I'm talking about orchids. We have orchids at home. They're potted.
They take after you, don't they?
Hello, boy.
Hey, look,
where did this come from, kid?
It's our beautiful new secretary, Viola Vaughn.
Boy, I'm glad you showed up early, Viola. Tonight I'm going to sing a song just for you.
Why, Costello, I didn't know you sang.
Oh, I got a high voice. I can hit a high U above key.
Hi, you.
Fine, thanks. High U.
Pay no attention to him, Viola. Pay no attention to him. Why don't you and I have a bite of supper after the show, huh?
Well,
just a minute, Viola. I hired you. Don't you think you should go out with me, kid?
Please, Mr. Costello, I'll decide who I want to go out with.
Well, that suits me. Make your own choice. I won't try to help you in any shape or form.
With your shape and form, nothing will help you.
Oh, that was awfully clever, Abbott.
Oh, yeah. You know, Viola, Abbott is practicing up for television.
Well, why would Mr. Abbott want to be on television?
It's the only way. He can get in every bar in town at once. Well, Abbott, I think we both struck out. Now, you tell one, Viola.
I guess I'll have a try at it. Did you...
I knew it was too good to last.
Well, I'll have a try at it. Did you boys know that my uncle is in the hospital?
No, Viola. Tell us what happened.
My uncle was watching two men hoisting a piano into the 5th floor window of a hotel. He was standing underneath them yelling, "Heave ho! Heave ho!"
But wait a minute now. How did he get into the hospital?
They thought he said, "Leave go."
Let's give this kid $6 silver and a box of Snickers.
Quiet, Costello. I think Viola has a terrific sense of humor.
Oh, I thank you, Bud. I have another funny story. I went to the racetrack yesterday and bet on a horse that was 100 to 1.
100 to 1? That's terrific odds. Did the horse win?
No. He was leading the field by 10 lengths when suddenly he jumped the rail and ran for the grandstand.
What for?
When he saw those terrific odds, he ran to the $2 window and put a bet on himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just listened to a joke by 3 unemployed people.
3 unemployed people?
Yeah, you, Viola, and the guy that wrote the stuff.
And that's the halfway mark in tonight's laugh race. Time for an intermission to concentrate on this.
we go back to work tonight, let's hear from our blonde cutie pie, little bitsy Virginia Maxie.
East is east and west is west, and the wrong one I have chose. Let's go where I'll keep on wearing those frills and flowers and buttons and bows, rings and things and buttons and bows. Don't bury me in this prairie, take me where the cement grows. Let's move down to some big town where they love a gal by the cut of her clothes, and I'll stand out in buttons and bows. I love you in buckskin, a skirt that I've homespun, but I love you longer, stronger, where your friends don't tote a gun. My bones denounce the buckboard bounce, and the cactus hurts my toes. Let's vamoose where gals keep using those silks and satins and linen that shows, and I'm all yours in buttons and bows. I love you in buckskin, or skirts that I've homespun, but I love you longer, stronger, where your friends don't tote a gun. My bones denounce the buckboard bounce, and the cactus hurts my toes. Let's vamoose where gals keep using those silks and satins and linen that shows, and I'm all yours in buttons and bows. Give me Eastern trim and where women are women in high silk hose and peekaboo clothes, French perfume that rocks the room, and I'm all yours in buttons and bows.
All right, Viola. If you're so fussy, I'll take somebody else.
What's the matter, Costello?
Well, I want to take Viola Vaughn to the football game Saturday. So I got seats on the 50-yard line. But she said that ain't good enough for her.
Well, she won't sit on the 50-yard line.
No, she wants to sit in the stands.
Lou, I didn't know you were interested in football.
Abbott football is my... Oh, that's my meat.
I've known you a long time, Costello, and you never went to any football games. Since when has football become your meat?
Since the last time I went to the butcher shop and saw the price of steak.
I thought so. You know nothing about football.
Ah, don't be silly, Abbott. I used to play football. The coach says I played like a tiger.
Oh, you must have been good.
Nah, after all, what does a tiger know about playing football?
What position did you play on the team?
Left tickle.
Huh?
Left tickle.
You mean...
Left tickle.
All right. You mean left tackle.
I mean left tickle. I used to tickle a guy who was carrying a ball and make him drop it.
Did you ever play any important teams?
Once our team played Notre Dame. What a rough team. I wound up with a busted nose, 2 cracked ribs, and a twisted ankle.
Oh, that's not so tough. It could happen to any player.
While sitting on the bench?
Costello, I've been a football fan for years, and I've never heard your name mentioned in connection with any team.
Oh, around Patterson, New Jersey, I was famous. Patterson High School, Colt Hill. They remember me as the guy that invented the Costello hidden ball trick.
Well, did your hidden ball trick work good?
Good? That was 20 years ago. Nobody's found the ball yet.
Well, you don't look like no football player to me. Football players have to be rugged and powerful and strong.
Abbott, when I played football at Colt Hill in Patterson, New Jersey, I was powerful. All those kids were rugged. Very rugged. I can't say rugged.
You just said it.
You just said it.
We didn't have no showers. By the end of the season, everybody said we were the strongest team in New Jersey. With the wind at our backs, nobody could beat us.
That must have been some football team.
I remember our last game, Abbott. I was calling the signals. Mildred, Maine 6664. Gladys, Hollywood 7953. Betty, Walnut 3841.
Wait a minute. Well, yeah, but what was the idea of using girls' phone numbers as signals?
Strategy. While the other team was writing them down, we scored 46 points. Telegram for Luke Costello. Telegram for Luke Costello. Yeah, boy, I'll take it. Hey, Abbott.
What?
It's one of my Sam Shovel detective fans. Boy, am I getting popular, Sam Shovel the detective.
Well, read it.
All right. It says, Dear Lou Costello, I never miss your program. I really enjoy your portrayal of Sam Shovel, private detective. Your acting was so thrilling, my hair stood on end. I'm coming over to see you tonight.
Mr. Costello, there's someone here to see you.
Show the man in.
It's no man, just a few hairs standing on end.
Well, Costello, Sam Shovel, you're really killing the people. What case have you chosen for your Sam Shovel story tonight?
Well, it's a case I worked on in the Sahara Desert. I call it The Two Dirty Bedouins, or It's Time to Change the Sheiks.
Well, that's an old case, Costello. Haven't you got one more up to date?
Well, my latest case. I call it the case of the telephone operator who died dancing, or sorry, wrong Rhumba.
All right, let's go on with the case.
Yes, I'm Sam Shovel, private detective. It's been a slow day with the detective business. I'm sitting here in my little office listening to my favorite radio program.
Calling Dr. Brand, surgery. Calling Dr. Brand, surgery. Calling George Jordan, girl intern.
They never can find those two. There's more going on in that hospital than just operations. I turn off the radio. I listen to the wind howling on the outside.
You all partner? You all partner?
It's a southwestern wind. I decided to check up on some of my latest cases. Here's the one of the baby that was gypped. When I found him, he was wearing half a diaper. Somebody had shortchanged him. I think I'll relax. I feel like a smoke. That reminds me, I read in the paper this morning where most of the doctors who switched to camels are now back driving automobiles. I gaze out the window in the office across the street. I see Mamie, the stenographer. What a girl. I took her to dinner last night. She eats like a bird. She always orders worms. It's about time for my pal, Lieutenant Abbott of the Homicide Squad, to show up. Last week when the Red Cross asked for blood donors, Lieutenant Abbott was the first to volunteer. He gave his blood the hard way. The hard way. He cut his throat. Every time I think of Lieutenant Abbott, I think of his bow-legged wife. Brother, is she bow-legged? When Mrs. Abbott sits around the house, she really sits around the house.
Hello, Sam Shovel. I've come over to tell you that Martin, the murderous midget, is on the loose again.
Martin, the murderous midget, the toughest midget in the world, known to the police as public enemy number 1/2.
Yes, Sam. And if I catch up with Martin the midget, it's goodbye to his racket.
Lieutenant Abbott ain't kidding. He's a great racket buster. He's busted 15 rackets already this year, and if he don't stop busting them at the Beverly Hills Tennis Club, they won't let him play there anymore.
Sam, I got trouble of my own. I'm thinking of divorcing my wife. Last night I decided I can't stand her cooking.
Lieutenant Abbott, you've been married to that woman for 30 years. How come you just decided you can't stand her cooking?
Until last night. We always ate out. However, let's forget my problems.
I will. Let's forget it and parley and forget your jokes, too.
Sam, how's the detective business going? Any new cases?
Yes, I'm on the trail of a woman criminal. Show off Susie. If I catch her, she'll go to the chair. I can't stand that dame. She's always showing off. Last week she started bragging again. She wanted to show everybody that her husband has brains.
You can't arrest a woman for showing that her husband had brains.
By shooting the top of his head off?
Forget about show off Susie, Sam. You're in for some real trouble. Dora the Dip escaped from prison this morning.
Dora the Dip, the most beautiful woman criminal I ever met. What a temper she had. The first time I saw her, she was beating her second husband over the head. She kept beating her second husband over the head.
What was she beating him with?
Her first husband. Dora the Dip, she was mad about me. It was on account that she threw her second husband over. All I had to say was, Dora, I want to see you tonight. No matter what man she was with, she'd throw him over. On account of that, they put her in jail.
Oh, wait a minute. You can't put a woman in jail for throwing men over?
Over the Pasadena Bridge?
Sam, I heard that Dora was arrested while working as a clerk in a department store. she was jailed for taking money out of the cash register.
That's a lie, Lieutenant. She never took any money out of the cash register.
I'm glad to hear that.
She never
Sam.
put any money in the cash register.
Aha! There you are, Sam Shovel.
That was Dora the Dip, and she looked more beautiful than ever.
Sam,
Yes?
I'm gonna kill you.
I don't doubt it.
She's only bluffing, Sam.
You sent me to prison. You took me away from my family.
Yeah.
My 5 children by my first husband.
Yeah.
My 7 children by my second husband.
She's still bluffing you, Sam.
She may be bluffing, but it sounds to me like she's got a full house.
Sam, on account of you, I spent 10 years in prison. 10 years locked up with 1,000 women. Do you know what it means to be alone for 10 years with 1,000 women?
No, but I'd give anything to find out.
It must have been terrible in prison, Dora.
Lieutenant Abbott, you don't know what I went through. All day long I had to pose with my twin sister for pictures for prison magazine ads.
What did the ad say?
Which twin has the crime wave? But now I'm free, Sam Shovel, and I'm going to make you suffer as I've suffered. Sam,
Yes?
part of me died in that prison.
Don't worry, Dora. With what you got left, you can do plenty of living.
Dora, you haven't changed a bit. I thought prison would straighten you out.
If they straighten her out, she could sue them for every cent they got.
Sam Shovel, in spite of what you did to me, I'm still mad about you.
You are?
Yes, Sam. You're different from any man I ever met. Now you tell me the same.
Okay. You're different from any man I've ever met.
Sam, you sent me to prison and made a monkey out of me. Now I'm going to get even. I'm going to give you a kiss that'll make a monkey out of you. Come here.
Sam Shovel, speak to me. Where are you, Sam?
Up on a chandelier. Don't stand there. Toss me a banana and a bag of peanuts.
There's a curtain call coming up, folks. But first, you'll be interested in hearing this.
Well, Costello, you sure worked hard tonight.
Yep, but you know my motto. Hard work never hurt anybody. That's what I keep telling the people that do my work.
Well, you should...
Thanks.
You should thank the people that do your work.
I'm going to do that right now, Abbott.
That's
First,
right.
I want to thank our writing staff, headed by Eddie Foreman, with Paul Conlon, Pat Costello, Martin Ragaway, and Len Stern.
Wait a minute. And our band leader, Mandy Malnick.
You're right. And let's not forget our producer, Charles Vander. See you next Thursday night, folks.
Good night, folks.
Good night to everybody in Patterson. Good night.
Listen next Thursday night at this time for another great Abbott and Costello show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood. Be sure to stay tuned for the outstanding entertainment which follows throughout the evening on this ABC station.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The secret word tonight is name. N-A-M-E.
Really?
You bet your life. The DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
That's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you. Well, here I am again with $2,000 for one of our couples. George Fenneman, who gets first crack at all that money?
A couple of people with unusual occupations, Groucho, and here they are. Mrs. Lita Griggs, who is wardrobe mistress for a circus, and Mr. Tommy Dalby, stage doorman for a burlesque theater. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. And if one of you says the secret word, you split $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mrs. Griggs, eh?
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Griggs of the Cabbage Patch? Is that, This Mrs. Griggs. You're a wardrobe mistress for a circus?
That's right.
Which circus?
For the Clyde Beatty Circus.
You got a big circus?
They certainly have. They have
How big is it?
Three-ring circus.
Three
they
rings.
have 75 lions and tigers, 200 performers, and the balance are the ticket sellers and all that.
And And Mr. Tommy Dalby, huh? You're the stage doorman at a burlesque theater?
Yes, sir.
At what theater?
At the Burbank Burlesque Theater downtown.
How did you meet your wife? Was she a chorus girl at your theater and she threw you a curve?
She worked at the theater. She was a cashier.
Oh, you married into money, huh? Your wife checks the figures at the front door while you check the figures at the stage door. Well, that adds up, I think. Mrs. Griggs, what does your husband do?
My husband is a clown.
Mrs. Griggs, everybody's husband is a clown. Let's face it, huh? Is he funny at home?
Oh, yes.
Could you give us an example of...
No, not right here.
How did you meet your husband?
I met him at a fox hunt.
Were you chasing him or was he chasing you?
No.
What do you mean you met him at a fox hunt?
Well, I tell you, all circuses have races.
Was he a beagle?
They have races where pairs ride around the big tents, and jump hurdles and all. And this day, I fell in a mud puddle. And he carried me out, and that's the way we met.
You went to a fox hunt in a mud puddle? I don't understand this. Where does the fox hunt come in?
The horses ride in pairs around the big top. They jump the hurdles.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fox comes from.
Well, you just threw that in to make it more difficult, is that it? Do you have any children?
I have 3 girls.
You have 3 girls?
Yes.
Yeah.
3 girls.
How old are they?
16, 14, and 11.
Oh, and do they go to the circus?
Yes, they do. They're all aerialists.
Oh, they're all in the circus?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Yes. You mean you can tune them in and get television programs? And... Well, how did they get to be aerialists?
Well, I used to be an aerialist when I was younger and thinner. So
I think you're young enough now to be an aerialist, Mrs. Griggs.
Thank you.
And thinner. Tommy, let's talk about a man's subject, girls. Tommy, at your burlesque theater, how is business?
Oh, business is always good down there.
It's always good. Well, if it ever falls off at your place, business will be better than ever. Well, who are some of the headliners you've known that you've seen parade through your theater there?
Well, we've had Betty Rowland, the Ball of Fire, Lana Berry, Red-Headed Heat Wave, and...
These are all pretty hot numbers, aren't
they? And Little Sincere, the Anatomy Award winner. And right now we have...
What was that last one there, Tommy?
The Anatomy Award winner.
Yeah. That's what I thought you said. Is it pretty exciting being a stage doorman at a burlesque theater?
No, it's, after a while it gets a little...
Well, the first 50 years must be fun, isn't it? Well, after talking to you two, I can say I've lived a very sheltered life. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to work together for a chance at $2,000.
Whenever you take your car for service to any one of the more than 3,000 authorized DeSoto Plymouth dealers, you never have to wonder about what kind of a job you'll get. For that's where you'll always get the best equipment and the best workmanship, meaning a top job every time. At a DeSoto Plymouth dealers, you get the benefit of factory-designed and approved tools and equipment. Also, skilled mechanics who know how to use that equipment. Getting a better job done on your car in shorter time naturally means money in your pocket and a car that will serve you faithfully and economically for miles and miles. So stop in and get acquainted with a DeSoto Plymouth dealer next time your car needs service. Learn what so many car owners all over this nation already know, that it pays to stop in at the sign of an authorized DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Now, let's see if you two will be high for the night and get the chance at the $2,000. Fenham, and tell them the rules.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want in each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's happening out here.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected former Academy Award winners as your category. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Now, you have $20. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
10.
Who won the Academy Award in 1942 for his portrayal of George M. Cohan in Yankee Doodle Dandy?
James Cagney.
James Cagney is right.
You're on the way, Bronco, with $30.
Well, you got $30. Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. Now, how much of the 30 will you try?
20.
$20. Who won the award in 1940 as Kitty Foyle?
Ginger Rogers.
Ginger Rogers.
They're climbing. They have $50 now.
Well, you burlesque man, you're stripping right along here. Here's your third question. How much of the 50 will you bet?
45.
Oh, 45. Who won the award playing Father Flanagan in the picture Boys Town?
Spencer Tracy.
Spencer Tracy.
Now they have $95.
Are you sure you don't work in a movie theater? Well, you got $95. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
95.
95. All right. Who won the Academy Award in 1945 as Mildred Pierce?
Crawford. Joan Crawford.
Joan Crawford.
And they wind up with a grand total of $190.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, don't go away. You may get the chance at the big question.
Groucho, the secret word is still name. Perhaps the next couple will say it. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a fireman and a housewife. And here they are, Mrs. Evelyn Russell and fireman Ben Brewer. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. And if you say the secret word, you divide $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mrs. Russell, where are you from, Mrs.
Los Angeles, California.
Whereabouts?
Yeah, well, I was born in the Southwest.
Well, whereabouts, Southwest? You mean North Dakota?
In California. I'm a native. I have to be in California to be a native.
Not if you're a native of Los Angeles, you don't. You could be in Waco, Texas. Fireman Ben Brewer, huh?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from? The Smoky Mountains?
No, I come from Arizona.
With a banjo on your knee? What is the... Tell me, Smoky Stover, what's the proper procedure for turning in a fire alarm?
Well, you merely break the glass and pull down the alarm. The important thing is not to delay, to turn it in immediately.
Well, most people are reluctant to ring the alarm because they're afraid that they'll break up your canasta game at the firehouse. Or poker, whatever they play. What do you play? Huh?
We don't play any poker. We're not allowed to gamble. We'd be dismissed if we gambled.
You mean they can fire a fireman? You don't play poker or canasta. Just what do you do between fires?
As of late, we have our fire prevention program that keeps us out most of the day in our district. We can answer alarms because we're on the radio and in contact with our dispatcher. And we talk to the taxpayers.
Housewives?
That's right.
What do you tell the housewives when you call on them?
Well, shall I assume you're a housewife?
Well, many people have. Don't let this tie fool you, huh? Come on, let's assume that I'm a housewife, huh?
I'd say good morning, madam. We're out here in the street with our apparatus.
You don't even wait for me to say good morning back to you. Let's try it again, huh?
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. How's tricks? What's new, big boy? What are you doing later on today? Okay. Now, the fire is still burning, I suppose.
We're around trying to enlist your cooperation in helping us prevent fires in this district.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We want you to watch rubbish in the backyard.
Yeah. Keep my relatives out of this, huh?
We wouldn't want you to put any pennies behind the fuses or allow the curtains to get over near the heater. We don't want the children to play with matches.
You're a real killjoy, aren't you? Mrs. Russell, do you have any fire hazards at your house?
Well, my husband's a fire hazard.
Your husband is a fire hazard? You mean he burns up easily?
Well, he smokes in bed.
What's your opinion of smoking in bed, fireman?
It's dangerous.
Well, I imagine there's more to it than that, huh? What other careless habits do people have that provide fire hazards? Do you have any rule for people to follow?
Well, we have one little rule.
You want to start over again and say good morning, madam?
No, I'll give you the rule.
What is it?
Matches have heads, but they don't have brains. And whenever you start a fire, use your head.
That won't work. I've got water on the knee, huh? That won't work. I've got water on the brain. Huh? Now, where else could I have it? Let's see. Well, I've kidded our firemen, but I know all of us are thankful that the fire department does such an efficient job, Mr. Brewer. Now, you're going to play your bet your life for the chance at the $2,000 DeSoto Plymouth question. You run your $20 into more than the other couples, and you get a chance at the big question. I can't tell you how much our first couple won, but Fenneman is off stage to remind our listeners.
The circus lady and the burlesque doorman earned $190.
Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. You selected radio MCs as your category. Is that right? Now, you have $20. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
Make it 10. Let's just make 10.
$10. Who is the popular master of ceremonies on People Are Funny?
Art Linkletter.
Art Linkletter is right. $30. Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. Now, how much of the 30 will you try?
25?
25, okay.
25. Who is the MC on Stop the Music?
Is, oh, darn it.
Fireman, save my child here, huh?
I can't even think of what it is.
Well, it's Bert Parks. You should have known that.
We lost. They now have $5, Groucho.
Well, all right. Now you're down to $5. Oh, well, that's a shame. Here's your third question. How much of the 5 will you try?
Let's try 3.
Try $3. All right. Who is the MC on Double or Nothing?
Walter O'Keefe.
Walter O'Keefe is right.
They're on the way again. They have $8.
Now you're climbing. You got $8. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 8 will you try?
Just bet it all, huh?
Okay, here you go up the ladder again. Now, who is the MC on Take It or Leave It?
Eddie Cantor.
Eddie Cantor.
And they wind up with $16.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, we'll soon know who gets the chance at the $2,000 question.
You know, friends, when you drive your car into a DeSoto Plymouth dealer's, you'll find they have the old-fashioned idea of courtesy.
Fenneman, you mean they kiss your hand as you leave?
Oh, no, Groucho. But they do show an honest interest in your problems, a real desire to treat you fairly and squarely.
Shall we dance?
Seriously, friends, that's important to you folks who own cars, whatever make of car it may be.
Well, I have an electric car, and it's quite a shock to my family. Well, enough around. George, which couple is ahead so far?
Well, the circus lady and the stage doorman are leading with $190, and the secret word is still name. We asked if there were any engaged couples here tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Ann Lane and Mr. Ken Miller, and here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And if you say the secret word, you win $100 in cash instantly. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Ann Lane?
Yes, sir.
That's a very, very pretty name. How old are you, Ann?
I'm 21.
And Ken Miller?
22.
You're the engaged boy, huh?
Yes.
When is the big day to be, Miss Lane?
June the 27th.
Mm-hmm. Ken, why did you pick that day, huh?
Well, I didn't.
Did she pick it?
Yes, she did.
Who's going to be present at your wedding, Ken?
All her friends and her relatives and mine.
Do you know her relatives?
Well, not all of them.
You will eventually, brother. Oh, and will you know them? Well, if you didn't know them, why did you invite them?
I didn't.
Are you implying that her relatives are trying to crash the party?
No, sir. She invited them.
Are you sure you want to go through with this?
Yes, I
Could you back out now if you wanted to, Ken?
Oh, sure. I think so.
Well, how could you back out of it, huh?
Well, I could quit paying on the rings.
Then you have been giving it some thought, huh? And is Ken going to be able to support you all right?
I think so. Other fellas support their wives on his income.
Even married yet, and you're already beginning to turn into the Marshall Plan. Ann, do you have a pet name for your boyfriend, dear?
Yes, sir, but I don't want to tell you what it is.
Well, couldn't you clean it up? Come on, Ann, what is it, huh?
Well,
give us a synonym
he calls
for it.
me Bunky, and I call him Punky.
Why Bunky, Ken? Huh?
I don't really know.
Well, they're cute names, I think. What sort of work do you do, punk?
I'm a template maker at Douglas in Long Beach.
A what?
A template maker.
Come again. What is a template maker, huh?
Well, a template maker is a...
Fellow makes templates, I suppose. Well, that's clear. Now I understand it, huh? Well, what is a template?
A template is a pattern.
And a pattern is a what? Huh?
A pattern is a structure that they build a part of a ship to and drill holes from. It has a bunch of holes.
Did you ever read Gertrude Stein? Now, what kind of planes are you building now?
Well, it's called the C-124, and it's supposed to be the largest cargo ship built.
How big is it?
Well, it's big enough to hold 2 fully loaded buses and 200 fully loaded troops.
I don't know if they can get the buses loaded, but they can certainly get the troops loaded. I wish you'd notify me when you go up for the first time with that one. Where do you work, Bunk?
I work at Douglas, too.
Oh, you work there, too?
Yes, sir.
So what do you do?
I do general clerical work in the planning department.
Secretary?
Yes, sir.
And what's the difference between secretarial work in an aircraft factory and in any other office?
Well, I guess there isn't much difference except that you have to be able to understand the boss's terms when he's dictating.
Well, when you start understanding the boss's terms, it's time for you to go home to Mother. How long have you been carrying the torch for Punk here?
About 2 years.
How did you meet Ken for the first time?
Well, I was working in the tool crib.
You're a very pretty girl. Did I tell you that? Huh?
Thank you very much. I was working in the tool...
I didn't have anything to do with it, Ann. If you were a pretty girl, I'd say the same thing about you. Punk old boy, huh? So
I was working in the tool crib, and he was a riveter on the assembly line, and he had to make approximately 2 trips a day, the tool crib, but I saw to it that he made about 10 or 15.
What is a tool crib? I don't know. What are you keeping there? Baby tools? Bunky, let's get back to your wedding. Where are you going on your honeymoon?
That's a secret.
Don't you think you ought to tell him? When are you leaving on your honeymoon, Bunky?
After the wedding.
Well, Bunky, you couldn't pick a better time. Of course, Ken doesn't care. He doesn't know where he's going anyway. Well, I'm sure you two are going to be very happy. And remember, old Uncle Groucho in future years when you're trying to think of a name for your 15th. Now you're going to try for a chance at the $2,000 question. You beat the other 2 couples and you win the chance at all that money. I can't tell you how much our other 2 couples won, but Fenneman's going to remind our listeners.
The circus lady and the stage doorman are still ahead with $190.
Now, here we go. You have $20. Let's see how high you can build your $20. You selected bird songs as your category. Is that right? Honeymooners. And how much you going to bet of the $20? Talk right up, Bunky.
She says $10.
Give me the title of this bird song. Play, Jerry.
Bye-bye, Blackbird.
Bye-bye, Blackbird is right.
And on my way with $20.
All right, remember you're going for $2,000 tonight. You're on your way now. You got $30, says Fenneman. How much of the 30 will you try?
25.
25. What is the name of this song?
Flamingo.
They're really sorry now. They have $55.
You got $55. Here's your third question. How much of the 55 will you try?
50.
Let's see if you can identify this one. Okay, Jerry.
Swallows come back to
When the swallows come back to Canterbury.
Now they have $105.
You got $105. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 105?
100.
100, huh? I know who has the pants in your family. Okay, give me the title of this bird song.
Skylark is right. And they wind up with their $205, get the chance to DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question. Warmer weather is approaching fast, so now is the time to take your car for that spring tune-up to a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. With factory-designed and approved tools and equipment, with expert factory-trained mechanics, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer will give your car, whatever its make, a careful inspection and do all the things that should be done to put your car in tip-top shape for the weather ahead. Mechanics will give your car an engine tune-up, will drain and flush your radiator, check your spark plugs, your battery, and your tires, put in the right oil, lubricate the chassis, and do countless other necessary jobs. So don't put it off. Bring your car in right away. Authorized DeSoto Plymouth dealers are well equipped to give you courteous service, prompt service, service at a fair price. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. And here's the engaged couple, the winning couple, all ready for the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question, Groucho.
All right, here we go for $2,000. The young married kids. Well, if you win this, you certainly will have a wonderful honeymoon, huh? Are you ready? I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so think carefully. And please, no help from the audience. Here it is. The monument to the Battle of San Jacinto, where General Santa Anna was defeated, is the tallest monument in the world. In what state is the San Jacinto Monument? All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
Texas?
That's right, in the state of Texas. Well, it shows you love will find a way, huh? Now, what are you going to do with all that swag, Bunky?
Well, I'm going to name my first boy Groucho.
Every time you open your mouth, I'm getting more broken. You just said name, and that's the secret word tonight. So that means you just want to... Compliments of the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. You won $2,000 plus $205 in the quiz, plus $100 for saying the secret word. Say, you really cleaned up tonight. $2,305. All I can say to you both is congratulations. From the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast, you bet your life.
Thank you very much.
You Bet Your Life is a John Goodell production, transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for the Groucho Marx Show, You Bet Your Life, presented by the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation. And don't forget, next week, the big question will be worth $1,000.
Well, it's Bing Crosby's turn now, so good night, folks. And remember, just be sure to see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Folks, here's a tip from the National Safety Council. Walkers wise use their eyes. This is George Fenneman, signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I don't get Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, it looks as though Lum and Abner have acquired themselves a baby, whether they want one or not. Yesterday, just as they were about to take the baby into the county seat to turn him over to the authorities, they received a mystery note. It warned them not to hand the baby over to the police or communicate with the police in any way. It was signed by the Black Pelican. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum in the Jot 'em Down store and library. The baby is sound asleep in the feed room, and Abner is just entering. Listen.
Yeah, morning, Lum.
Oh, morning, Abner.
I dog it, I'm fearing this is going to be another hot day.
Yeah, starting out that way, all right.
Oh, it's hot all night long, too. I just rolled and tossed.
Roll and toss?
Yeah, never did get to sleep hardly. Of course, part of it was on account of Grandpappy snoring so loud and talking in his sleep.
Oh, are you still staying over to the Spears' place?
Yeah, I can't stand to go home without Elizabeth and little Pearl there long. I tell you, if I don't get a hearing from my woman today, I don't know what I'm going to do. Might do something desperate, I don't know.
Well, you'll hear from her one of these days soon. She can't stay away much longer, I don't think.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean that she's just as lonesome for you as you are for her. Maybe even more so. Now, bound you, she'd just give anything to be home right this minute.
Well, why don't you come on home, then?
Because she's a woman, that's why.
How?
You see, if she done that, Abner, she'd feel like she's admitting that she done wrong and leaving you.
She would, huh?
Like, sure. Women folks always hate to admit they've made a mistake.
Well, is she aiming on staying away the rest of her life just on account of that?
No. What she'll more likely do is let you find out somewhere or other whereabouts she's at so that you'll write to her and tell her to please come home right away, and then she'll come a-flying. You just wait and see.
Well, I wish she'd hurry up and do it then. Tell you, Lum, I need her awful bad. That baby we got needs her, too. Whereabouts is the baby? Back in the feed room?
Yeah, I borrowed a little crib for him from the widow Abernathy.
Well?
Oh, her young'uns has outgrowed it. Cedric brung it over early this morning.
Well, how does he like the crib?
Oh, all right, I reckon.
He did?
It'll take him a little time to get used to it, of course.
Why, sure. Well, I'd just love to see him.
Well, don't go back there and look at him now. He's asleep. Might wake him up.
Yeah.
I had an awful hard time getting him to go to sleep.
He did, huh? Well, I won't go back right now, then. Have you got any more notes from that Black Pelican today?
No, none since that one we found stuck in the screen door.
Reckon who that Black Pelican is, Lum?
I don't know. I've been studying the writing in that note, but I don't recognize the hand.
You don't, huh?
Ain't nobody that's ever wrote to us before, I'm sure of that.
Well, now, why do you reckon the Black Pelican don't want us to give the baby to the police, or, fact is, even tell them about it?
I don't know, but that part of it seems awful curious to me.
Oh, yes, it does.
There's bound to be something unlegal about this, or else they wouldn't be so scared of the police.
Well, do you reckon it's one of them kidnapping cases like you said the other day?
Well, I don't know. I've been studying about that some more. I sort of doubt that, Abner.
You do, huh?
That woman had come in here and left the baby appeared like such a nice lady. Just don't seem possible that she'd be mixed up in no such a thing as that.
Well, no, but them's the kind that always fools a fella though, Long, them innocent-looking kind.
Yeah, that's so, but still she didn't look like the type.
You reckon she could be the Black Pelican?
Oh, no. That note was wrote by a man. I might not sure of that.
Well, I don't see how you can tell whether it's wrote by a man or whether... Well, for the land sakes.
What's the matter?
Look what's hanging on the wall back there by the feed room door, Lum. Look back there. Ain't that a woman's dress there?
Oh, that. Yeah, that's what it is. It's one of them Mother Hubbards.
Well, how'd they get here in the store? Have you hired some woman to take care of the baby?
No, I ain't hired no woman.
Well, how did that Mother Hubbard get there then?
Listen, Abner, if I tell you, will you promise not to tell nobody?
Why, no, I won't tell a soul. Honest, cross my heart. Does the dress belong to that Black Pelican, Lum?
No, of course not. It belongs to me.
To you?
Well, it actually belongs to Uncle Henry Lunsford's woman, but I'm the one that's wearing it.
You mean you're wearing a woman's dress?
Well, now, don't laugh. I just do it to keep the baby from crying.
Huh?
See, whenever he starts fussing, I put on that dress and that bonnet there, and as soon as he sees me in that outfit, he stops crying right away.
Oh, he does, huh?
Yeah. More likely he thinks I'm his mama then.
His mama? Why, you don't look nothing like her, Lum. She ain't got no mustache. Or at least, she never had one the day she come in the store here.
Well, it's just a general idea of the dress and the bonnet that does it, I think. I don't let him see my face very much. I keep that sunbonnet down over my face.
Oh, well, that's a good idea. Yeah. I do know that's a good one. Put it on once. I want to see how you look in it.
No, I ain't going to do it.
Well, come on now. Just put it on for a minute. I'd love to see you in that getup.
No, Abner, I said I weren't going to do it.
Oh, now, please do it, Lum. Pretty please.
No,
come on.
No, that dress is just to be used in case of an emergency.
Emergency?
I hope there ain't no emergencies comes up when you're here.
If you don't do it, I reckon you won't. I would just love to see you rigged up in that outfit, Lum.
Abner, this ain't no laughing matters. Raising a young'un is serious business.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to do a scientific job of it, that's all.
Yeah, huh?
Average papa and mama would never stop to figure out things like this. But I just happen to be over average, so natural I study up the scientific way. The scientific way.
Emergency, Lum, emergency.
You stop crying in just a second. I know he will.
Well, it don't sound like it to me, Lum.
Well, just give him time. He'll quiet right down.
Well, Lum, you better get your outfit on now. He's set for a good long cry. I can tell. I know he is. Go on now. Go on.
You promise you won't tell nobody about this?
Well, no, of course not. Here, I'll get off the hook for you. How do you put it on? Just over your head?
That's the way I've been doing it.
Here.
Well, let go of it, Abner. I can do this better by myself.
Well, hurry up before he cries his little eyes out. Here's your bonnet now. Put that on, too.
Well, give me time.
Go ahead.
There. How do I look?
Let's see. Lum, you're the silliest looking one human I ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah, I told you not to laugh. I'm just doing this for the baby.
Oh,
the only way to stop him from... Wait a minute. I believe he stopped, ain't he?
Yeah, I believe he has. Doggy, this works pretty good, you know it. You don't even need to see you in it. All you have to do is just put it on and he stops crying.
Well, I can take it off now. Here, help me, Abner.
Yeah. Oh, look out, Lum. There comes Grandpappy Spirit.
Oh, my goodness. Well, hurry up, get this thing off. I'll be the laughing stocks of the whole
town. Wait a minute. You ain't got time to get it off. Just stand there with your back towards him like you was a customer. I'll get shut of him quick as I can, Lum.
Yeah, well, hurry up.
Mind it. Turn around.
Yeah, howdy.
Come in, Grandpap.
How are you, Abner?
Oh, just fine. We're awful busy today, though. Maybe you better come back some other time.
No, that's all right, Abner. I won't bother you a bit. I just come over to read to the baby.
To read to him? Now, Grandpap, that baby's too young to understand reading.
Yeah, come over to read to him. I got a dandy magazine, too. You'll just love it. It's a true story magazine.
True story?
Yes, sir. It's a wonderful magazine, Abner. Interesting articles in there for him.
Yes, huh?
Yeah, I never miss it myself, and I know he'll enjoy it. Whereabouts is the little Dickens at? Back in the feed room?
Yeah, now listen, Grandpap. Now, he's asleep, and besides, he's too little to be...
Yeah, howdy, Miss Lunsford. Never seen you standing back there when I come in.
Miss Lunsford?
Yeah, I'd recognize that dress and bonnet anywhere.
Oh.
Hi, Miss Lunsford. Charity tells me you and Uncle Henry's coming over to the place for supper tonight.
Well, that'll be nice, Grandpap. Well, we'll see you later. So long, Grandpap.
What's the matter with her, Abner? Ain't she speaking to me? Is she mad about something?
Oh, no, I don't think she's mad. She just a little hard of hearing, I think. Yeah, that's it, hard of hearing. Yeah.
She weren't troubled with that yesterday?
Oh, well, this just come over today, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, sassy Fred.
It did, sure enough.
She just putting on. Howdy, Miss Lunsford.
Now, don't holler at her, Grandpap. You'll wake up the baby.
I don't care. She can't do that to me. When I speak to somebody, I want to get spoke back to.
Oh, my.
Howdy, Miss Lunsford.
Grandpap, quit hollering now.
No woman ain't going to ignore me and get away with it. I don't care who she is. Miss Lunsford, are you going to turn around and speak to me, or am I going to have to start calling your name?
Now, wait a minute, Grandpap. Now, watch yourself. Don't start insulting him. Or her, I mean.
Insulting?
Yeah.
I'm the one that's being insulted. Whereabouts is your phone at?
Why, it's right there where it always been.
Sure, I'm so mad I can't hardly see nothing.
Oh, my.
Never been so insulted in my life.
Well, here, just a minute, Grandpap. Who are you calling up for?
Never mind who I'm calling.
Well, who is it? Tell me.
Hello? Who is this? Uncle Henry?
Uh-oh.
This is Milford Spears.
Grandpap, now careful what you say to him.
Now listen here, Uncle Henry. When you get over by our place this evening, don't stop. Just keep on going.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that's what I said. Keep going, and don't never let me catch you around there as long as you live.
Grandpap, now don't say that.
Get away, Abner. Right. And one more thing, Uncle Henry, before I stop speaking to you for good. Is your woman hard of hearing?
Oh, my.
Well, I never thought she was. Goodbye. Yeah, that takes care of that snake in the weeds. Now help me carry this chair. I want to put it right in the front door.
Well, that'll block the door, Grandpap.
Of course it will. It's what I want. Especially with me sitting in it. Miss Lunford ain't leaving this door till she speaks to me. There ain't no woman that's going to ignore Milford Avery Spears and get away with it.
Well, sir, it's late afternoon as we approach the small house halfway up in the next block now. And here on the front porch, we find Mr. and Mrs. Victor Gook and their son, Mr. Rush Gook. Our friends are seated in a row on the top step but one, enjoying temperate breezes and splendid summer sunshine. Listen.
When on earth are you going to get around to putting up our porch swing?
You said the chains were rusted through.
Buy new ones.
Isn't that in your department?
Well, I don't see why it should be.
You do all the shopping, purchasing, and huckstering for the outfit.
Well, this is hardware, though. It's more of a man's job.
You're the party that bought our new coal scuttle.
All right. I'll go to Holder Brothers and lug 50 pounds of iron chains.
I will, Dr. Stitch.
When?
Oh, tomorrow.
Well, don't forget. Otherwise, we'll be sitting here on the steps till Christmas like heathens.
What are you pondering over so deeply, little dove?
I'm facing a problem concerning swings myself.
Really?
It's also a problem concerning Nicer Scott.
Nicer's a good boy.
Yeah.
What is the problem?
Well, sir, I'm wondering if I'd be a horrible hypocrite if I made friends with Nicer.
I believe we got an understanding. You're to make friends with Nicer and keep friends with Nicer.
Yeah, but all that off to one side.
No, not all that off to one side.
What I got in mind is something else again. Thing is, Gov, I don't like Nicer and never will like Nicer. However, right at this particular season, it would be to my advantage to cultivate his goodwill.
He has in his possession a large box of chocolate?
No, not that quite.
He has something in his possession you covet?
He has something in his possession I could use, all right.
What's that?
The 2 trees in his backyard out by the garbage box.
Papa is mystified.
I'll explain.
Okay.
I bumped into Uncle Fletcher this morning on Kelsey Street.
Oh, really? How is he?
Fine.
He never behaved like he was miffed.
Uh-uh.
He hasn't dropped by or telephoned since last week.
Said he'd been very busy lately.
What doing?
Oh, riding around on garbage wagons, I guess.
Well, I'm glad he didn't act miffed. Occurred to me once or twice in the last couple of days his feelings might have been hurt last time he was here.
I don't think so.
A person can never tell how he's going to take stuff.
What's this problem you face, Cousin Will?
Uncle Fletcher's landlady's got a dandy hammock she brought down from Dixon.
Yeah?
I understand it's a peach. Big soft headrest, long fringe, plenty of room for 2 people, strong ropes, and a number 100% high-class hammock from the word go.
Uncle Fletcher offered to you?
Yes, he did.
We got no place to put any hammock.
No, we haven't. And neither has Miss Keller. That's why Uncle Fletcher offered us the use of it for the summer.
I began to add 2 and 2 together and get...
Nicer Scott.
Yeah, Nicer Scott.
Those 2 trees in Scott's backyard out by the garbage box are exactly the right distance apart for a hammock. You could search this wide world over and never find a...
No, I don't think so, Rush.
Beg pardon?
I'm not such arms-around-the-neck chums with Miss Scott. I'd feel like asking a favor like that.
Like what?
Requesting the use of their backyard.
A hammock, Mom, is a wonderful thing.
Yes, I know. Very comfortable.
An individual can sprawl out and relax till who laid the chunk.
Hammocks is nice, all right.
I was thinking I could cultivate a beautiful friendship with Nicer to where he'd be glad to offer them 2 trees of his.
No. Other people's backyards is a horse of a different color. It's all right to borrow a cup of sugar, a dab of butter, and like that off of neighbors, but the use of their backyards is something else again. And with Miss Scott chilly the way she is, the whole business is out of the question. Might possibly work out with Miss Donahue if she had trees the right distance apart for hammocks, but I'm afraid I'd have to draw the line at Miss Scott.
Uh-huh. I was apprehensive you'd feel that way.
Mm.
Still in all, though, a fella hates to let the chance of laying in a hammock slip through his fingers.
Nobody else around here got a yard with suitable trees?
Not a soul. Vernon Pago's Aunt May's got suitable trees, but she lives way to heck and going out on Morris Avenue.
Maybe you better just forget it then.
Hammock could certainly be swell this summer.
Have you sounded out nicer on the matter, Sam?
Yes, I have.
What was his reaction?
About what you'd expect. I told him about it this noon, and a while ago when I come up the alley, he was standing out in his backyard with an axe.
Axe?
He was staring intently at one of the trees. His idea was to terrify me, see? He wanted to give me the impression he was playing with the notion of chopping down one of the trees.
Oh.
If he chopped down one of the trees, of course, it'd remove all hopes for a hammock.
Well, couldn't you and Nicer work out a deal on a cooperative basis?
How do you mean, Doc?
Cold-blooded, down-to-the-bone business, undiluted by the milk of human kindness.
I don't catch on.
Well, you have a hammock. Nicer has the location for a hammock. Hammock and location are each worthless without the other. Couldn't an arrangement be set up whereby the two of you could pool your assets and obtain something to your mutual benefit?
Huh?
I have this in mind. You lay in the hammock on Mondays. Nicer lays in the hammock on Tuesdays. You lay in the hammock on Wednesdays. Nicer lays in the hammock on Thursdays, and so forth. Neither guy could feel obligated to the other.
What would you think of that, Mom?
Well, I couldn't ever bring myself to ask Miss Scott for the use of her backyard.
Well, she'd be enjoying the use of your hammock, though.
Be me asking the favor.
Yeah, I suppose.
Sure.
Then there's also the angle of Uncle Fletcher.
What angle's that?
If I accept the hammock and find a place to put it, he expects to lay in it considerable.
You say so?
Yeah.
A satisfactory schedule could still be worked out. Establish an understanding with Uncle Fletcher whereby he's at liberty to lay in the hammock every day in the week between the
Other
hours...
angles, too, Gov.
Yeah?
My friends, Nicer's friends, my relatives, Nicer's relatives, you and Mom's guests, Mr. and Miss Scott's guests.
Would they all expect to lay in the hammock?
Well, wouldn't they?
I hadn't considered that aspect of the situation.
Mom's pal, Miss Kreider, calls frequently, and about 3 out of every 4 times she calls, she has to lay down on account of a headache. Wouldn't it be natural for Mom to say, Miss Kreider, go outdoors and stretch out in our hammock a few minutes?
I doubt if I'd say that.
Be natural for you, too. And then, Gov, there's Hank Gutstock. He likes laying down better than eating dinner. If he found out you were the proprietor of a hammock, he'd be on hand every afternoon. Then there's Miss Scott's brother. He's in town a lot. And all my friends, Smelly Clark, Bluetooth Johnson, Brewster Davis, Leroy Snow, Leland Richards, Russell Duncan, Milton Welch, Cracky Otto, whole slew.
That hammock will resemble a can of sardines on brisk days.
Uncle Fletcher's landlady will be another party that'll expect to enjoy it. After all, it's her property. If UNC visits us from Carberry this summer, she'll want to use it. Miss Stembonner might want to stretch out for a snooze occasionally, Mom. And Miss Brighton and Miss Trogel and Miss Heddles and Miss Healy. And then there's Nicer's pals, Ed Hago, Scissorneck Edwards, Bill Veepley, Pat Morris, Wilbert Stang.
You sure that hammock will resemble a can of sardines on brisk days?
Oh, beg pardon. Didn't realize anybody else was in here.
Think no more about it. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Harrison.
My name is Mr. Brown.
Glad to form your acquaintance. Shake hands with my friend, Mr. Kilgore.
Oh, I thought we was the only ones in this hammock.
Not at all. My cousin William's underneath here someplace, and those feet with the brown oxfords belong to my Uncle George.
No, but all jokes smothered and forgotten, it presents quite a problem.
I'd forget the whole thing, Willie.
Oh.
On top of my objections to asking Miss Scott for the use of her backyard this summer, I'd also hate to be responsible for somebody else's property.
Oh.
Another thing, our family's always been unlucky with hammocks.
Unlucky?
Your grandfather fell out of one in Stanwood, Iowa, and broke his collarbone. My cousin Robert fell out of one in St. Paul, Minnesota, and smashed his thumb to where he had to give up playing the violin. Uncle Fletcher himself fell out of a hammock once. Got a goose egg on his forehead big as my shoe.
Oh.
Of course, I don't make anything superstitious out of that or anything, but, you know, Oh. No sense in waving the red flag at the angry bull.
Oh.
So, take it all in all, maybe you better thank Uncle Fletcher for the hammock very kindly next time you see him and say you're afraid it won't work out.
Oh.
Don't you think so?
Okay.
I like the notion of a hammock out in Scott's backyard on a good brisk day.
A lot of people after it, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Darn it, I never knew this hammock was occupied.
Perfectly all right. Go right in. I'm Mr. John Williams.
I'm Mr. Sam Jackson.
Meet my son, Harry.
Where's he?
Down underneath here someplace. Oh, Harry!
Which concludes another brief interlude at the small house halfway up in the next block.
So we take you now to Duffy's Tavern, starring Archie himself, Ed Gardner. Hello, Duffy's Tavern. Where do you eat meat? Eat Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Oh, hello, Duffy, old keen old pal. Well, I'm happy tonight, huh? There's package for you, Miss Archie. Oh, let's see. Hey, Duffy, somebody just sent me a potted plant for a present. Let's see. The card says to Archie from an ardent admirer. Well, that could be any one of 10,000 dames. I'll call you back, Duffy. Let me see that card again, Eddie. Yeah, the handwriting is female, all right. Could it be from your girlfriend, Mildred DeCognac? No. No, Eddie, she wouldn't have sent it. Mildred and me had a falling out, kind of a lover's quarrel. Lover's quarrel, huh? Yeah, she got mad at me because I resented her getting married. You suppose it could have been that Bertha Kowalska? Bertha Kowalska Dimachek? Big Bertha, you mean? That's right. The one that there was that question about. About whether she was a woman or a horse? That's right. Nah, I never believed that, Eddie. It was just one of them ugly rumors, Of course, there was that one time when she went out to buy a pair of shoes and they caught her sneaking into the blacksmith shop, but... I'm sure the dame was human. Well, you think maybe she sent you the plant? Nah. She forgot about me as soon as she started running around with that trainer from Santa Anita. Guy had a lot of sugar, Hey, wait a minute. You remember me telling you about a dame that picked me up at the Excelsior Ballroom the other night? Peaches Pepnick? Yeah. Well, when we were saying goodnight, she forced her phone number into me hand. And give me that phone, Eddie. Bet you she sent me the plan. Hello? Hello, is Peaches Pepnick there? Oh, hello, Mr. Pepnick. Let me talk to your daughter, please. She ain't your daughter, she's your... I'm calling for one of them radio surveys, sir. And what program are you in? Well, thank you, sir. Goodbye. What was you listening to? John's other suspect? Don't be so smart, Eddie. Well, we'll find out who sent the plant later. In the meantime, leave us take care of it, huh? And nurture it. Now, the first thing a plant needs is fresh air. Open the window, Eddie. I hate to do it. Why? Well, you know as well as I do. Any fresh air that comes in here is committing suicide. Now, don't argue, Eddie. Open the window. Won't do us no harm to inhale a little fresh aqua pura neither. Okay. Now, Eddie, let's take a deep... Eddie, close it. Okay. Boy, that stuff is strong. Yeah, it might be too strong for a young plant like that. It's liable to catch cold in its little tendrils. Maybe if we just left a little sunlight hit it.
Sunlight? No, you can't let that stuff in there neither. You know our customers, they put on dark glasses when the pinball machine lights up. Oh, boy, you certainly taken a fatherly interest in this plant.
Well, I can't help it, Eddie. It's the call of nature. You know something about me?
What?
Well, on the surface, you look at me and you say, there's a typical sophisticated man about town.
I don't.
Others do. But deep down, underneath, believe me, I'm a man of the soil. Maybe it don't show on the surface.
It shows.
Well, thank you. I heark to the farmyard, to the cackle of the hen, to the bleat of the heifer, to the good earth and its dragon seed.
You got plenty of good earth around here?
Yeah, but where, Eddie? On the top of the bar. On the top of the table. Just topsoil. I'm talking about the real things. To get away from it all and go out and commute with nature in the raw.
Don't you think you should at least wear a pair of overalls?
Eddie, please. Yeah, I guess I'm a bumpkin at heart, Eddie. Even when I was a kid, I was in love with nature in all her various shapes. Of course, as I grew older, the shapes I was in love with became more various. I always remember as a kid, as a barefooted boy, you know, I'd sit in my backyard for hours watching the sun sink slowly to rest behind me father's underwear, hanging on a wash line, you know. On clear nights, I'd gaze up towards the sky and count the thousands of twinkling little lights on Chinley's chop suey sign. Yeah, my little heart filled with the wonder of it all.
And your little nose filled with new mold carbon monoxide.
In fact, one of the happiest moments of my life was when I became a member of the 3rd Avenue Woodcraft Cadets.
3rd Avenue Woodcraft Cadets?
Yeah, that was a group that couldn't pass the physical to get into the Boy Scouts. Yeah, them was the days. We used to go tramping in the woods, hunting and fishing. Every Sunday morning, our leader would gather us all together and say, well, cadets, it's time for our tramp. Well, Finnegan, I was telling Eddie here about the 3rd Avenue Woodcraft Cadets. Finnegan here was a member. Right, Finnegan?
Right. I think of the cadets every spring when I get my head shaved.
How come?
Well, Archie, it still shows where you carved the emblem in me head.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that, Finnegan, but I still swear I thought it was a rock.
Well, serves me right for being such a sound sleeper.
Boy, what days. Remember the signals, Finnegan?
Oh, like a ton of bricks.
Quick, name your troop and give the high sign.
Well, look at you, hip hooray. Hail Woodcraft Cadets.
Right, fish patrol, splish, splish, splish. Name your patrol and give the high sign.
Indian patrol.
Very good, Finnegan. I didn't think you'd remember. I bet you forgot the laws in the handbook, though. Quick, who is brave and who is fearless?
A Woodcraft Cadet.
Who helps old ladies across the street?
A Woodcraft Cadet.
Who is happy and gay, come no matter what?
A Woodcraft Cadet.
Who should have stood in bed? Eddie Green?
Oh.
It may sound silly now, Mr. Green, but believe me, it's great fun when you're childish. Finnegan, remember the time we combined with the campfire girls and went for a hike? You know, must have been about 20 of us guys to about 30 dames.
Yeah, and one box of sandwiches.
Yeah, that's right. Some jerk wanted to eat.
What do you mean, Judge? I was hungry.
Was the days, and it was a great education, too. You know, Eddie, we learned all about flowers and plants and gardening. Believe me, if it hadn't been for the cadets, I wouldn't know a chrysanthemum from a rhododendron.
Well, what is the difference, Mr. Burbank?
Well, Eddie, you see, the chrysanthemum, or as it's technically known, the Hypernicus mandamus, has longer pistols shooting from its fungus. While, on the other hand, the rhododendron is more like the petunia, or Evictus noxvermicus. See, the stem is closer to the roots, and the pollen is more gregarious. Answer that, Eddie, will you?
Hello, Duffy's Tavern, where the flora meets the fauna. Eddie the greenhouse speaking. What? Oh, just a second. Mr. Archie, your nurse from the hospital.
Very nice. Hello? Huh? How's me tonsils? Well, you should know better than I do. You got them over there. Did I get what? Oh, I've been combing me brains to figure out who sent me that plant. Well, it was very sweet of you, Miss McGillicuddy. Thank you very much. Okay. Holy cat, Eddie. I called that nurse every name in the book, stuck pins in a hot water bottle, told her how ugly she was, threatened to have her fired, and here she sends me a lovely potted plant. What is it with me?
Must be that personal magnetism of yours.
I guess so. Wonder what kind of a plant it is. Let's see. It looks a little like the biannual night-blooming eucalyptus. Yeah, I think it is. You can tell by the way the moss grows on the north or lee side of the pot. See, that helps make it grow straight up.
All right. is ridiculous. A vegetable garden in the backyard?
Why not?
Oh, because it's covered with tin cans, broken glass, old shoes, egg crates, garbage cans, old rags, bedposts, iron gates, and Moriarty sweeping one off.
But Ed, somewhere underneath all of that junk is good dirt, old Mother Earth. We could grow radishes, turnips, succotash, mangoes, beets.
I think you got beets in your belfry. Look, in the first place, even if you got all that junk out of there, which will be very difficult.
Yeah?
And there is earth under it, which I doubt.
Go ahead.
And the earth is suitable for planting, which it wouldn't be.
Possible.
How many vegetables could you plant in 10 square feet of dirt, which probably won't be any good after you dug it out from under that ton of junk that'll be too tough to move anyhow?
You got yourself into this. Let me see you get yourself out.
Mr. Archie, the whole thing is impossible.
Eddie, it is not impossible to a man with a dirt mind. It can all be taken care of with modern methods of soil erosion. Right? There would be a fortune in that garden. I bet you I could make a deal with Carucci, the fruit peddler, and sell him all his vegetables. Hey, that's an idea, Eddie. Go over to Carucci's store and tell him I want to see him, will you? Oh, Finnegan, hey, that's the man I'm looking for. Finnegan, how would you like to have some great fun?
Doing what?
Well, in the backyard, there's a nice big pile of junk. Think how much fun a guy could have throwing it into a wheelbarrow and carting it to the dumps. Don't that sound exciting?
Oh, Sally. What's the job worth?
Oh, say $50.
I'll give you a quarter and not a penny more.
All right. Okay, Finnegan, it's a deal. Now, go on and get started.
Hey, Archie.
What is it, Miss Duffy?
What's this about a farm in the backyard? What do we need a farm for?
Well, what does anybody need a farm for? Where do your vegetables come from?
From the can.
But where do they come from before that?
From the grocery store.
But where does the grocery store get them?
From the wholesaler.
And where does the wholesaler get them from?
From the canning factory.
Duffy, are you sure that there ain't a farm in there someplace?
Archie, I think it's a very crazy idea, and I'm going to tell that to Papa.
Look, Mister, look at it this way. If we have a farm here at the tavern, it makes your old man a farmer, which in turn makes you a farmer's daughter. Sound interesting?
Archie, I'm not interested in traveling salesmen.
Oh, don't let the salesman worry you. They'll probably take one look at you and keep traveling anyhow.
Wait a second, Archie. Just what are you insinuating?
I am merely insinuating that you are the only dame I know who, when you're getting ready for bed, the guy across the street pulls his shade down.
Well, that settles it. Now I'm really going to tell Papa that you're wasting his time.
Now, wait, Miss Duffy. I was only kidding. Just think about it. The farm could be a very romantic place. You know, a boy and a girl running barefooted to a bed of asparagus. You know the old expression, even dames with wigs can become a message in your cabbage patch.
I don't need a cabbage patch. If I put my mind to it, I could become a missus very easily.
Well, the rumor is, Miss Duffy, that very few men would marry you.
Well, very few would be enough. Think it otherwise, guys.
Have you got the yard cleaned up yet?
Half of it.
What about the other half?
Well, that'll take more time. That's where I put the stuff I cleaned up from the first half.
Maybe you better go back and try it left-handed. Maybe you'll come out even.
Okay, Archie. Hello, Archie. How's the boy?
Well, Calucci, how are you?
Oh, honky-donkey. Hey, what's the plant you got there?
Well, nice sentence to make, Calucci.
What the kind of plant is that?
I think it's eucalyptus.
No, that's not a eucalyptus.
What? That's a eucalyptus?
That's a joke, Bambino. That's a joke.
Well, I'm glad to see you anyway. Tell me, how's the Sonora and all the little seniorities?
Well, the old lady, she's going to have another Bambino.
Naturally. How many Bambinos you got now, Calucci?
Well, let me see. There's Teresa, Maria, Antonetta, Carmelita, Lucia, Philomena, Gracia, Lucretia...
Look, it's getting late. Just give me a rough estimate.
Well, let me see. I think there's about 14 girls.
14? Even for a vegetable man, that's a lot of tomatoes.
That's right. Now, what's the proposition you want to talk to me about?
Oh, the proposition, yeah. Kaluch, tell me. Have you got $50?
Very good. Goodbye.
Just a second, Kaluch. At least listen to the proposition, will you?
Okay. I listen, but my pocketbook, she is a dead.
All right. It's very simple. You see, I happen to be an expert on raising vegetables, and I need a little cash for modern machinery. Electric caterpillars and automatic silos and things. Now, you're a vegetable man.
Just a minute. What kind of stuff do you want to raise?
Well, what do you make the most profit on?
Well, grapefruit, pineapple, oranges.
Just what I was thinking of raising. Oranges. Kaluch, how would you like to be the first guy to sell an orange that is both seedless and skinless? With a built-in rind. And no navel.
That's wonderful. How you make the orange grow like this, huh?
I grabbed them from an eggplant. More than that, I can't tell you. Hello? International Harvester? This is Archie, the manager of Duffy's Tavern. Tell me, what do you get for one of your tractors? How much for a half tractor? Quarter tractor? What have you got in a wheelbarrow? Hello? Somebody ought to tell them guys that the war is over. Cavalry has discharged a lot of horses that are now looking for jobs. Let's see, what else there is for me to check up on?
Hi, Art. Oh, yeah, Finnegan. Did you clean up the other half of the yard?
No, I ran into a little trouble. You see, I took the stuff from the first half and put it back on the second half.
Yeah, I know.
Well, then I took the stuff from the second half and put it back on the first half.
Well, Finnegan, in that case, you got all of the junk back the way it was.
Oh, I thought it looked familiar.
Finnegan, sometimes I think your mother would have been better off if you had delivered the store. Now get back there, Cadet Finnegan, and try it again.
Okay, who can do it? Hey, which class is that?
Kyle. Well, Colucci, did you take a look at the backyard?
Yeah. Did you raise all this junk by yourself?
Colucci, I'm afraid you lack imagination. Now, come answer the window a minute. Now, I'll tell you how I got it planned. You see that pile of ashes out there?
Uh-huh.
Well, between them ashes and that rubber boot will be the Pinapla Grove. Now, you see Mrs. Duffy's old horse up there? Well, between that and that rusty carburetor will be nothing but avocados. Over there, where that Model T fender and a horsehair sofa are heaped against the no dumping sign next to the busted coffee grinder, will be, guess what?
What?
A new vegetable, named after me.
The string of beans?
No, Colucci, not the string bean. The Archie choke. Now tell me, what do you think of the whole idea?
I can tell you in 2 words. Archie, joke.
Now wait a second, Colucci.
I got a surprise for you.
A surprise?
Yeah, you thought that underneath that junk was nothing but a lot of dirt.
Well?
You're in luck. The whole thing is cement. Looks like the man has blown his top, Saul. Cement. That's what I want to hear. Goodbye, Archie.
Well, guess that ends that. I guess I got to start all over again. Eddie, hand me that potted eucalyptus plant.
Not me. No, I ain't touching that plant.
Why not?
Well, I had a hunch about that plant, so I looked it up. You know what that eucalyptus turned out to be?
What?
Only toxic convention hedera. In other words, poison ivy.
Don't be silly. That nurse was nuts about me. Besides, I know poison ivy when I see it. Eddie, would you mind scratching me back? If that is poison ivy, Eddie, I'll eat your hat in Macy's window.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
It's new. It's amazing. It's Prell, P-R-E-L-L, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Prell, the shampoo that removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes and leaves hair radiantly clean, radiantly lovely, presents The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. Jester A. Riley is a man of many moods. At 5 o'clock the other day, he was in his happiest frame of mind as he went into a telephone booth downtown to phone his loving family. But then, after receiving a busy signal for 2 hours, Riley was anything but happy as he entered the house.
Oh, hello, dear. You're late. Hello, Daddy.
Hiya, Pa.
Well, where have you been?
Where have I been? For the last 2 hours, I've been hibernating in a phone booth. I've been trying to get this number.
Now, take it easy, dear.
Who was on that phone? I bet it was you, Junior. How many times have I told you not to tie up that phone?
But, Pa...
I warned you before. You know, you're not so old I can't turn you over my knee.
It wasn't me, Pa.
Oh, so it was you, Babs. I should have known it. I heard you before, yatta-tay, all day long with those friends of yours.
Oh, Riley.
It's got to stop, Babs. You're not so old I can't put you over my...
Riley, it wasn't Babs, it was me.
Oh, well, you're too old.
Well, I don't see what you're getting so excited about. I only spoke for 2 minutes.
That line was busy for 2 hours.
Well, I guess it was me, Daddy. Leslie phoned.
Oh, so it was you. I should have known it. Babs, you've got to stop talking to those girl-crazy boys.
Well, Leslie's a girl.
Oh, well, you got to stop talking to those boy-crazy girls.
Oh, Riley, supper's on the table.
Well, okay, but I ain't finished. Now, listen, Babs, you too, Junior. It's got to stop this talk, day and night. Talk. I don't know who you get it from.
Shall we tell him, children?
Now, listen, I'm making a rule. No using the telephone for more than 1 minute. That's 60 seconds. 3 seconds for dialing, 57 seconds for yatta-tay.
1 minute? What, gee whiz, Pop. I thought there was free speech in this country.
Well, it ain't free. It costs me $4 a month. Pass the bread.
Oh, I don't see what you're making all this fuss about.
That line has got to be kept clear in case of emergencies. Pass the meat.
Emergency?
Yes, like this afternoon. I was trying to phone you to tell you something important. Pass the gravy.
What? What, Riley?
Pass the potatoes, Junior. Babs, pass the cauliflower.
But, Riley, what was it you called to tell me?
Oh, I wanted to tell you I couldn't get home for dinner. Pass the food, somebody.
Oh, honest, Riley, you're always looking for something to harp about.
You kids wouldn't make so free and easy with that phone if you had to pay for the calls. You'd be That's it. From now on, I'm charging you a nickel a call.
Riley, you're joking.
They'll find out if I'm joking. No nickel, no call.
Oh, have a heart, Pop.
Oh, Daddy, that's not fair.
I don't have to be fair. I'm your father.
Riley, I want to talk to you.
I'm busy right now, Peg. I got to figure out this contest.
What contest?
With the walking man on Truth or Consequences.
Look, never mind that now. I want... Riley, what's that big lump under your chair cushion?
That's me.
No. Under the cushion.
Oh, that's the telephone.
The phone? You're sitting on the phone?
Yes, I'm keeping my eye on it.
Now, you put that phone right back where it belongs.
Peg, I know what I'm doing. I ain't going to have those kids gabbing on the phone while all kinds of important people are trying to get me.
What people?
Well, business.
Oh, the only people who call you on business are bill collectors. I think it's an outrage, charging your children a nickel every time they make a call.
I ain't doing it for spite. It'll teach them the value of money. I got madness in my method. Now, let's see. Who is the walking man? Peg.
What's wrong?
I don't feel good. I got a ringing sensation in my stomach.
You're sitting on the phone.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Hello? Yes, this is Mr. Riley. Oh, how do you do? Why, I'd be delighted. Simply Yeah, anytime tomorrow. I'll be home. Okay, call me back and let me know definite. I'll wait for your call. Happy to oblige. Farewell.
Who was it, Riley?
You see, you say nobody important phones me. You know who that was? That was Mrs. J. Wickersham Cantwell.
Mrs. Cantwell? The president of the parent teacher?
Yes, sir. She wants me to be on the Child Guidance Committee.
You?
Well, why not me? She said they picked me because I'm a representative father. Well, it shows you how important I am. I noticed they didn't pick you for this.
Oh, Riley.
Take the way I'm handling this phone situation. I might even write up a little lecture about it so other fathers can get some real childish guidance.
Daddy, can I use the phone, please?
Why, certainly, Babs. That'll be 5 cents.
Okay, I'll pay you. Riley, I think it's disgraceful. Here's a dime, Daddy. This will probably be a very long call.
Oh, no, you can't. I'm expecting a call any minute.
But, Daddy, I paid for this call.
Oh, that Alexander Graham Bell had to invent the phone. He wasn't satisfied with a steamboat.
Hello? Joni? Dad. Joni, I'm just dying to hear what happened at the dance. Oh, no, I'm collapsing.
Collapse in a hurry. I'm expecting a call.
You mean Mickey actually said... Oh, I'm dying.
Babs, call her later. I'm expecting
What did she say? Oh, I'm dying.
Babs, call her back. I'm expecting...
Oh, no, Joni, he didn't. Oh, I'm dying.
Hang up before we all die of old age.
Oh, no, Joni, I've got plenty of time.
I'm having that phone taken out.
Oh, Joni, you're kidding. Oh, I'm just sick.
She don't even make sense. First she died, now she's sick.
Okay, Joni, so long.
Yeah, well, it's about time. Babs, do you realize that I'm expecting a very...
on my basketball team. Here's a nickel.
A nickel, but there's 5 kids on that team.
And 6 substitutes.
That settles it. I'm going to stop this jabbering once and for all. I'm moving that phone into the closet, and I'm keeping the closet locked. And I'm the only one who's going to have a key.
Chester Riley, you will not lock up that phone.
Oh, yes, I will, Peg. Now, there's no use being stubborn about it because my head is solid on the subject.
Honest, Edward? Yeah, I'm not kidding you. Yeah, that's where I am now. In the hall closet. Well, that's where my father put the phone. He is not nuts. Well, he doesn't want Babs and me to use the phone so much. I shouldn't be in here now. Only he left the key in the lock and forgot to lock the door.
Riley, I think it's going too far.
Please, Peg, I know what I'm doing. Trust me.
Oh, gee, he's coming. I better keep quiet.
I've got to teach those kids to... Hey, wait a minute. Why is that closet open? I must have forgotten to lock it. It's lucky I noticed.
Oh, unlock that closet.
No, it's staying locked. My head's made up.
Wonder who that is.
Good evening, Mrs. Riley.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Cantwell. Won't you come in?
Yeah, come in. Come in, Mrs. Cantwell.
Good evening, Mr. Riley.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you. Now, Mr. Riley, about this Child Guidance Committee, we have several experts on it, but we feel we need someone who understands adolescents because of his own personal experience.
Well, thank you. When it comes to adolescence, I've got it.
Yes. We feel that you're most qualified, Mr. Riley.
Well, thanks, but I'm sure you can get someone much better than me.
Well...
You're right, I guess you could. There's very little I don't know about kids. It comes natural to me. Why, when my own kids were born, I was practically running the hospital, telling the doctor exactly what to do.
Really?
Yeah, ask my wife. She was there, too.
Yes, I was. Isn't that a coincidence?
Mr. Riley has such a charming sense of humor. You see, we of the committee feel children don't need psychologists so much as they do love and kindness.
Right. That's the way I am with my kids. You know the old saying, the milk of human kindness? My kids are always milking me.
How nice. Well, I'd better be running along.
Yes, anything my sweet, darling children want, all they got to do is ask, and they get it. You know what their pet name for me is? Sucker.
Riley, we mustn't keep Mrs. Cantwell.
Oh, no.
Yes, I must be going. Well, good night, Sucker. Mr. Riley.
Oh, when's the next meeting, Mrs. Cantwell?
Daddy, Oh, excuse me, I didn't know you had company. Hello, Mrs. Cantwell.
Hello, Barbara.
Well, what is it, honey girl?
I'll tell you later.
No. Go ahead. If there's anything I can do for you, speak up. I insist.
Well, I know I'm not supposed to, but I've simply got to use the phone. You can deduct the nickel from my allowance.
Forget it, Patsy.
Oh, please, Daddy.
Mr. Riley, you make your children pay to use your phone?
Why, of course not. Honey, child, what are you talking about?
But, Daddy, you said...
Never mind what I said. I must have been drunk. I mean...
Why, this is most fantastic. You charge them.
But only a nickel, the ceiling price. You see, it's because...
What? Well, what's that in the closet?
Bob, let me out of here. Those California moths.
Good. There's a child in there.
Why, Junior, who locked you in the closet?
Pop did. I almost suffocated.
Oh, Mrs. Cantwell, when is the first meeting of the Child Guidance Committee?
I'm afraid there's no room for you on this committee. You're not a father. You're a monster.
But couldn't you make room for a monster on this committee? I mean, a lovable monster. I mean, what a revolting development this is.
We'll hear the second act of The Life of Riley in a moment.
Say, Ken, more and more people are switching to Prel, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube.
Naturally, and there are two good reasons why.
First, for a more radiant you, it's Prel Shampoo. Because Prel leaves hair far more radiant than old-fashioned soap or soap shampoos.
Second, Prel removes embarrassing dandruff in as little as 3 minutes. Examinations by a group of doctors proved it. In case after case, even stubborn dandruff was controlled by only 2 shampoos a week.
And don't forget that handy Prel tube. No messy jars, no slippery bottles.
A little makes mountains of rich, sudsy lather. So get the shampoo you'll sing about. Get
P-R-E-L-L, Prel Shampoo. Leaves hair radiant, gleaming bright. Not a bit of dandruff is in sight. Comes in a tube, handy too. P-R-E-L-L, Prel Shampoo.
Buy Prel Shampoo. And now back to The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley.
But look at all the trouble you've caused by locking that phone in the closet. You almost suffocated Junior. Mrs. Cantwell will probably tell everybody my husband's a lunatic.
Now, don't worry, Peg. She's not a gossip. She'll keep it to herself.
Oh, I give up.
Believe me, discipline is good for kids. Ask anybody. They'll tell you.
If you tell a single soul that we keep the phone
Now,
in the
don't
closet...
get excited. I won't tell them.
I'd die of shame if any of our friends knew about this.
They won't know. I won't tell them. I promise.
Well, you better not.
Oh.
They'd laugh you out of the neighborhood.
Oh.
Oh, dear, now who can that be?
Maybe it's that Mrs. Cantwell coming back to apologize.
Oh, yes? Good evening. I'm Trixie Walker, your new neighbor across the street.
Oh, yes, I saw you move in yesterday. Well, come in, won't you? I'm Mrs. Riley. This is my husband.
My name is Riley, too.
How do you do? I thought I'd drop in and get acquainted.
Well, that's fine. I always like to be friendly with my neighbors.
Yes, and it's about time we had a good-looking neighbor.
No, Mr. Riley.
No, I mean it. Why, there isn't a good-looking woman on the whole block, is there, Peg? I didn't mean that the way it sounded, Peg. I meant a good-looking young woman. I mean, I did. It's nice weather we're having. Do you like smog, Miss Walker?
It's Mrs. Walker.
Oh. Are you married, Mrs. Walker?
Of course she is.
As a matter of fact, we're newlyweds.
Oh, that's nice. Any children? Bongo, I ain't
Mrs. Walker, I was just going to make some coffee. Would you care for a cup?
Well, thanks. I'd love it.
Riley, you entertain Mrs. Walker. I'll be right back.
Well, it'll be a pleasure. Such charming company.
You're awfully hospitable.
Oh, thanks. And now that you broke the ice, I hope you'll be dropping in often. You can bring your husband, too, if you want to.
I will. Oh, say, I'd better call him and tell him I'm staying a while. May I use your telephone?
Telephone?
You see, George expects me right back.
Oh, sure you can use the phone. Only first I'll peek out in the hall and see if my wife's around.
Around?
No, she's gone. Come on, let's step in the closet.
What did you say?
Hurry, my wife will be back in a minute.
Why, you...
My wife wouldn't like it if anyone knew that...
Why, I've never been so insulted in all my life.
Insulted? I'm doing you a favor.
How dare you? I ought to slap your face.
Is something wrong?
Ask your husband. Good night.
What? Riley, what happened?
I don't know. I just asked her to step into the... Bongo, I don't want to leave. I'm going out. Trouble. Nothing but trouble. I guess a guy's troubles are never over till he's introduced to the Undertaker.
Pleased to meet you, I'm sure.
Who's that?
It is I, Digby Odell. Going my way.
Oh, hello, Digger. What are you doing around here?
I'm on my way to insert a new advertisement in tomorrow's paper.
Oh, you advertise now?
Yes, in an effort to help business, I'm planting a box daily. My regular trade isn't enough. I have to pick up a lot of customers off the street.
Well, is that the ad there?
Yes, it's in the form of a poem.
Oh.
I quote, Mr. Calvert drained his cocktail and then stepped on the gas. He saw a train a-coming, but he wouldn't let it pass. And now to all his friends, I have sad news to tell. Calvert has switched to Digger Odell.
Digger, I'm having trouble with my kids.
Ah, yes, children can be a problem. Yesterday, a gang of hoodlums pilfered a sign from the Santa Fe Railroad Station and hung it on the door of my business establishment. Oh, I was furious.
Well, why? What did the sign say?
Save money. Buy the round trip.
Well, Digger, the trouble with my kids is they're always using the phone. That's why I locked it up in the closet.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that. The only way to control children is use reason.
Well, I'm tired. I've lost my reason.
Take my eldest daughter, Hepzibah. I invested $5,000 and set her up in the florist business. A month later, she wanted to quit. Did I fume? Did I rant? Oh, no. I reasoned. Heppy, I said, stick it out. You may not like flowers at first, but eventually they'll grow on you.
What happened?
Now she adores the business. And to show her appreciation, she named a flower after me.
Oh.
The Odell Crocus.
Well, I'm teaching my kids a lesson if it's the last thing I do.
It won't be, believe me. Now you take that phone out of the closet.
No, I'm leaving that phone where it is.
Very well. Have it your way. Dig your own grave. But don't start yelling for me if you get in too deep. Well, cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
Oh, gee, it's cold out tonight.
Oh, say, Pop, can I have the key to the closet? I've got to make a phone call.
Later, Junior. Hey, look at the time. We got to listen to Truth or Consequences.
Oh, here you are, Riley. Oh, the sink in the kitchen's blocked again.
Later, Peg, after I hear Ralph Edwards.
Oh, you're always putting things off now.
Honest, Peg, sometimes I think you should have married a can of Drano. I'll fix it later.
All right, leave the man underwater for another 5 minutes.
Are we devils?
Does everything. Now, Mrs. Bennett, let's get back to you. You've told the truth, and so you're getting a chance to win $1,000 in cash.
Oh, Mr. Edwards.
Yes, now it all depends on how lucky you are. Now, here's what we're going to do. This is the Hollywood, California telephone directory, listing all the phones right here in Hollywood, California. Now, you've got to close your eyes and select one name at random. Then I'll phone the party you select, and if that party picks up the phone and says a certain correct word immediately, not only will you get $1,000, Mrs. Bennett, but so will that person.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Gee, $1,000.
Mr. Edwards, what's the word the other person has to say when they answer the phone?
The word is hello. No kidding, just hello. I'm getting fed up with this modern method of answering the phone. You call somebody, they pick up their phone and say, yeah, or what do you want, or your nickel stupid start talking, something like that. All you have to do is pick out a plain, ordinary, polite soul who picks up a telephone and says, hello. All right, you ready?
Yes.
What a cinch.
Okay.
Hello.
Now, close your eyes good and tight. I'll hold this open phone book in front of you. Now, you point with your finger. Let's see. Okay, I've got the number you selected. Now I'll dial it.
Can I open my eyes now?
All right. Get them in shape. Any minute you may be feasting them on a crisp new $1,000 bill. And if the party answers this call and says hello, that party's going to have a party with another 1,000 berries.
Hey, I wish he'd get to the walking man contest. I know who the walking man is.
Who, Daddy?
I ain't telling. You see, the clue says bing bong bell, so I figured...
Our phone's ringing. Give me the key to the closet.
Now, Peg, please, I'm listening. Boy, could I use $1,000.
What's that, operator? No answer? Are you sure?
The poor jerk ain't home. $1,000 gone.
The phone is... Oh, for heaven's sake. Maybe it's... Give me the key.
Oh, quiet, Peg. I don't want to miss this.
Are you sure you're ringing the right number, operator? Blueview 1313. Listed in the name of Chester A. Riley.
Riley,
that dope Riley's going to hate himself in the It's me! It's me! The phone! The phone! What's the word? What's the word?
Hello, Dad.
Hello, Peg. The phone! Where's the phone?
It's in the closet.
What's it doing in the closet?
Keep ringing, operator. We'll give Mr. Riley just 20 seconds to win that $1,000.
Oh, Marty, open the closet. Where's the key?
Key! Junior, give me the key. Peg, the key. Peg, the key.
You got it.
No, I haven't got it.
16 seconds.
Wait, it's in my blue suit. Where's my blue suit?
You sent it to the tailor.
Phone the tailor. Tell him to answer.
12 seconds, Mr. Riley.
I'll break down the door. I'll use this.
Put me down.
6 seconds, Mr. Riley. Hurry, hurry.
Get a knife. Get a blowtorch. Get some dynamite.
Yes, sir. Does everything.
Get some dust. Oh, what'll I do?
All right, operator. All right. I'm afraid we'll have to cancel that call. Time's up.
No. Wait.
Riley, not with your head.
Chester Riley talking. I mean, hello. Mr. Edwards. Mr. Edwards.
Yes.
Speak to me.
Who is this?
It's me, Riley. Mail me the money.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Riley. You're too late.
No.
Yeah.
No, but I was here. You see the phone?
Mr.
My
Riley.
kids, they locked the phone.
Yeah, Mr. Riley.
Please, you got to give me a chance to get $1,000.
Mr. Riley.
I've been supporting that phone for years. Now it can support me.
Mr. Riley, please.
Oh, you're me.
Mr. Riley, please stop crying.
I can't. You broke my little heart. Oh, please stop. You're breaking mine. Well, then, please, let me try for the Walking Man contest.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
But I know who the Walking Man is. It's Martha Graham.
Martha Graham? Martha Graham was Miss Hush. That contest was over 6 weeks ago.
But I got an old radio. Oh, you can't do this to me. I got all the money spent already.
Now, wait. Don't start crying again, please. Mr. Riley, listen. You're the only grown man who's ever cried like a baby on Truth or Consequences, so I think that deserves a special sort of consolation prize.
You do? You're going to give me a prize?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you sweet man.
Now, you say you worked hard on this contest, so I guess you could do with a vacation.
Oh, you bet.
Okay. How would you like to take a free trip, all expenses paid, both ways to Vermont?
To Vermont? Oh, boy.
Yeah, but you have to leave tonight. Get down here right away.
Yes, sir, Mr. Edwards. Oh, I've always wanted to go to Vermont. The snow, skiing, tobogganing. Oh, thank you, Mr. Edwards. And thank your sponsor, Mr. Proctor and Mr. Gamble. They've got a wonderful product that does. I love that does. I eat it every day.
The Rileys will be back in just a moment. It's sweeping the nation. It's Prell, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. From New York City, Mrs. J.W. Hayes writes,
I really look forward to my Prell shampoo. It seems to leave my hair lovelier than any soap I've ever used. And it takes so little to do the job. My thanks for Prell.
And thank you, Mrs. Hayes. Friends, one trial and you'll agree. Prell removes unsightly dandruff quickly. Leaves hair radiant. Ask for
P-R-E-L-L Prell shampoo. Leaves hair radiant, gleaming bright. Not a bit of dandruff is in sight. Comes in a tube, handy too. P-R-E-L-L Prell shampoo.
Sure was nice of Ralph Edwards to give Papa a free vacation in Vermont.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. Your father needs a vacation.
Oh, after tonight, so do we.
Well, with your father out of town for a few weeks, we'll get it.
Hello, Peg.
Well, Riley! Daddy! Did you forget something?
No,
What are you doing here? Aren't you going to Vermont?
I went. I'm back. That Ralph Edwards, he put me on a streetcar and sent me to Vermont Avenue. Right here in Hollywood. He didn't even give me a nickel. He had an old transfer. But I'll get even with him. I'm going right over to NBC Studios and nail Ralph Edwards before he gets off the air.
Greetings, Riley.
I'm sorry, Digger. I can't see you now. I'm going after that Ralph Edwards and get a prize or die in the attempt.
In that case, I'll go with you.
Will Riley get what he's going after? Stay tuned for Truth or Consequences, which follows in just a moment. Procter & Gamble invites you to join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. The script is by Reuben Shipp and Alan Lipscott. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow. Digger Odell is John Brown. And Ralph Edwards is Ralph Edwards. The Life of Riley is produced and directed by Irving Brecker.
Oh, he wants to give some girlie. Along on a tandem she'd go. Her blouses she kept white and curly, with wonderful ivory snow.
Ah, wonderful ivory snow. Just the beauty bath to keep your lovely blouses, lingerie, and nylons new-looking longer. And your hands will tell you why ivory snow keeps nice things lovely longer. Prove it. This week, wash dishes with ivory snow. When you see how it pampers your hands, you'll know it's extra kind to your fine fabrics. There's no other soap like it. Ivory Snow is the only soap, both ivory mild and granulated for efficiency. Make suds instantly in lukewarm, even in cool water. Ivory Snow is so kind to your hands, you just know it's kind to sheer nylons and lovely blouses, sweaters, and lingerie.
Oh, wonderful ivory snow.
S-N-O-W.
And this is Ken Niles reminding you that for radiantly clean, lovely hair, get the shampoo in the tube. P-R-E-L-L, Prell Shampoo. Listen again next week when Prell brings you The Life of Riley. And now stay right there at your radio and listen to Truth or Consequences. Riley means business about tangling with Ralph Edwards. And, of course, anyone who tangles with Ralph Edwards is heading for hilarious trouble. Don't miss it. Good night.
This is NBC, the national broadcast.
Andy, did you hear that? Come on, will you?
Did I hear what?
That whistle. That's the Rinso White whistle.
And Rinso means us.
That's right. Rinso gets clothes Rinso White, and Rinso presents the Amos and Andy Show. From coast to coast, women are whistling their way through wash day, and no wonder. Rinso in the tub or washer makes clothes washing quick and easy. As little as a 5-minute run per load in your washing machine, and clothes come not just white, but Rinso White. You see, ladies, the secret is in Rinso's soapy rich suds. They actually get out more dirt. And thorough as they are, they're easy on your clothes. Your washable colors come sparkling Rinso bright safely, even after dozens of washings. So, tomorrow, first thing, get a package of Rinso and put those Rinso suds to work next wash day. You'll whistle while you wash. And now our stars, Amos and Andy. The constant failures Andy and the Kingfish have had in their business deals have suddenly brought Andy to the realization that his security for the future is not very bright. The Kingfish is agreeing with this thought as the two of them sit in Andy's office.
What is I got to look forward to in my life from now on?
Well, take your life up to now. You can look in either direction, you won't see much.
Yeah, but I is worried. My life has been a failure. And as I gets older, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, I agree with you, yeah. What you need is security.
Yeah, that's even better than work, ain't it?
Didn't you have an insurance policy once that you paid so much on once a year?
Yeah, but the day I took it out, I couldn't pay the premium, and then the next year it lapsed up on me, and it's been relapsing on me every year since then.
Well, I wouldn't count too much on that.
Yeah, well, I was worried, though, Kingfish. The future. You know, I'm going to give this some thought.
Where are you going?
I'm going in the back room and really think this thing out. This is serious, and I'm going to do some serious thinking. And by the way, don't wake me up, neither. I'll see you later, Kingfish.
Boy's right. He ain't got half the future that I got. And I ain't got nothing. Let me get my feet up on the desk here, close my eyes, and do some thinking myself. Yes, ma'am. Something you want?
Excuse me, but I wonder if you could tell me where the Harlem Orphanage is. I had the address, but I lost it. But it's somewhere here in this neighborhood.
The Harlem Orphanage. Let me see. Where is that now? Sit down, madam. I'll look in the phone book here for you. Let me get to the H's here. I know that Harlem, that orphanage might throw me, though. Let me see. That's the orphanage where they got the babies, eh?
Yes, I'm going to talk to him about adopting a boy. You see, all my life I've wanted a son.
Yeah, well, sure a nice thing to have, all right.
Yeah, you see, a few years after I was married, my husband passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, I've been sort of a lonely woman. Now, if we'd have had a son, he'd be close to 40 now. He's old enough to take care of my big house and all the money, and most important, to bring some happiness into the life of his mother.
Wait a minute. You say you got a big house and a lot of money and stuff like that?
Well, yes, I have.
Madam, something just done clicked me into mind here. You know, the ideas come in my head, get in my head, going up to my brain. I think you got a good idea, but I think you're going to the wrong place.
Oh, do you think I ought to go to some other orphanage?
Oh, no, not for a 40-year-old son. Oh, they don't keep him at the orphanage that long, no. No, I mean that you ought to adopt a son as old as your son would be now. See what I mean?
Oh, I see. Well, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and it just so happens that I got just a son for you to adopt. 40 years old, a perfect type for looking after your big house and all your money. And the more responsibility he gets, why, the less he worries. Yeah, he look after you, he's sweet, affectionate, and you can look at him and tell that if he had a mama, he'd love her.
Oh, it would be a great comfort to me just to hear her pat her little feet around the house.
Well, the only thing is, though, madam, little feet don't come on the 40-year-old model, you see. Oh, there's one good thing about having a son with the size feet this fellow's got, because when he patters, he really gonna make some noise around there.
Adopting a son the same age as mine would have been. You know, that's not a bad idea. When can I meet this fella?
Well, I'll go wake him up. I'll go see him now and put the proposition up to him. Tell him about taking care of your house and your money and all that stuff.
Well, here's my card with my name and address and phone number.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Well, you think he'll like the idea?
Leave it to me. I'll deliver the new arrival right to your door.
Oh, this sounds wonderful.
You know, madam, I've done a lot of things in my life, but this is the first time I've ever been a stork.
But, Kingfish, I tell you, you was out of your head. As old as I is, I don't need no mama. What you talking about, me getting adopted?
Yeah, but this woman is serious, Andy, and you need a mama. After all, who loves a fellow when he's rich or poor? His mama. Who comforts him when things go bad? His mama. And in this fast-moving world today, who wants him, even when he's all tired and broke down?
You mean his draft board?
Look here, Andy, I ain't fooling about this thing. Now, look here. Look at it this way. When you gets up in the morning hungry for breakfast, don't you ever get the longing for a mess of corn fritters the way only your mama can make them?
Yeah, I sure was crazy about corn fritters.
Then why don't you let yourself get adopted?
Kingfish, ain't that going a long way around for corn fritters?
Brother Andy, look here. I'm going to stop beating around the bush here and come right out with it. Now, look here. Open your ears up and listen.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Now, when you left me in the front office, an old lady by the name of Mrs. Bodella Foster dropped into the office to ask how to find a place here in town. Now, she told me that she wanted to adopt a son. Now, you see, if she had a son before her husband died, the son would have been exactly your age.
Well, Kingfish, I done told you before, I ain't being adopted by nobody.
But the woman is lonesome and she needs a son.
Oh, don't make me laugh. I ain't getting myself a new mama, and that ends it.
Yeah, but you got a big house and a lot of money.
It's a deal.
Now, Brother Andy, now that sounds great. Now, look here, I know you'd feel sorry for this poor old lady. Now, the next thing we got to do is to make the thing legal so there won't be no slip-up when we start splitting the allowance that she's going to give you.
Yeah, well, how are we going to make it legal?
Let's go over and see Gabby Gibson. Get him to draw up the regular adoption papers with no loopholes in it so your new mama can't wiggle out of the deal later on.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, right. Now, put on your hat and shoes. We're off.
Yeah, you know, Kingfish, I was just thinking, sure seemed funny being somebody's son at my age.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the announcement now.
Yeah.
Mrs. Bodella Foster wishes to announce the arrival of her son Andrew, 220 pounds, 1 ounce.
Yeah, well, Gabby, you understand now what we want, don't you? Papers drawn up showing that Mrs. Bodella Foster is legally adopting Andrew Hogg Brown as her only son and heir.
All right, boys, I'll draw up the papers, draw 'em up, but I tell you one thing. Getting an old lady to adopt you just so you can spend the money is more than just an adoption. Much more. Yes, indeed, it's grand larceny.
Grand larceny? How you figure that?
Well, getting adopted just for the old lady's money is larceny, and you certainly going to have a grand time with that money. That's grand larceny if I ever had it.
Yeah, well, now, listen, we don't want no legal opinion from you. All we want is them adoption papers by tomorrow morning. Now, I done already phoned Mrs. Foster, and I is introducing Andy to her in an hour.
Yeah, and if she likes me, we wants to get her tied up legal at our next meeting tomorrow.
All right, I'll drop the papers. Yes, indeed, I'll draw them up. Now, the first thing, got to get all the facts. Now, let me see your birth certificate. Let me see it.
Oh, yeah, show it to him, birth certificate.
Birth certificate? Oh, listen, I done lost that a long time ago.
Lost it? Oh, that's bad, awful bad. Without the birth certificate, how's we going to prove that you was born?
Well, look, Gabby, I must have been born, I assure you, ain't I?
Oh, yes, you was here, all right. Yes, indeed, you was here. But that is purely circumstantial evidence.
Now, look, Gabby, all we want you to do is to get the regular adoption form and fill it out in the right places.
Boys, I get the regular adoption form, fill it out. I'll have it for you this afternoon.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
great.
oh, Gabby, this is a wonderful thing, Andy, getting adopted.
So little Andy Brown, little baby Brown is being adopted. Come here a minute, will you, Andy? Come here just a minute. I'm crazy about new babies.
Yeah, well, what you want?
Baby Brown, hold up your chin, will you?
There it is.
Oh,
get away.
Well, Andy Mills Foster is coming here to meet you now, and the one thing you must remember, and that is to be bashful.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
be shy, too.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, now, this is going to be a great thing for you, Andy.
Oh, sure, I can almost taste them corn fritters now.
Wait a minute, Andy. There's more to having a mama than just plain corn fritters, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot all about the maple syrup and the butter.
No, that ain't what I mean. What I was getting at is this. Mrs. Foster ain't never had a son before. You know, she's going to want to mother you. She's going to want to treat you like a brand new son.
Well, I ain't got to sit in her lap and drink milk out of a bottle with one of them rubber soppers on it, is I?
No, and you see, wait a minute. Here she come now. Oh, yeah. Come in, Miss Foster. Come right in. Got your new son right here for you to meet. Yeah, so here he is. This is Andy.
Well. And so this is Andy.
Hello, Mama.
Well, there he is, Miss Foster. Healthy-looking, strong. I guarantee you that he ain't one of them big fronts where he looks good now and then he go fold up on you a year from now, you know. Or this boy really going to give you service.
Yes. He certainly is big and healthy-looking.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Fine specimen of sonhood. Oh, Andy, open your mouth and show your teeth. See there? Ain't a filling in there. Look in there, will you?
Listen, Kingfish, you was talking about me like I was a horse.
Oh, no, Andy, this is just that Mrs. Foster ain't never had a son, and now that she's getting one, why, We want her to be sure that she's getting a good one.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't look at it that way.
Well, Andy, I'm certainly satisfied with you physically. Now, tell me about your habits.
My habits?
Miss Foster, the boy ain't got no habits. No, not a single habit. No, he's one of the cleanest samples of manhood in all Harlem. He don't stay up late. He don't go out with gals. He don't shoot pool. He even resists the great temptation of smoking.
Yeah? He don't smoke. Well, why did he have that cigar in his mouth?
Cigar? Oh, I didn't see that. Well, now, you notice it ain't lit, don't you?
Yes.
Well, there he is. Now, what he do is put temptation right under his nose, and then he got the courage to ignore it. That's what he do.
Yeah, and I was out of matches besides.
Well, now, what do you say, Miss Foster? What do you think of the boy here, there, you?
I think he's the one. In fact, I know he is.
Oh, fine. Now, as soon as you sign the adoption papers tomorrow morning that our lawyer's drawing up, the whole thing will be legal. Well, Andy, you've certainly been quiet. Ain't you got something to say to your new mama?
Yes, Andy. Say something to your new mother.
Yeah, Mom. How about a corn fritter?
Well, it looks like Andy will have to change his ways if he expects to get along with his new mama. We'll hear more about his adoption in just a moment. Meanwhile, friends, you know how it is with big families. There's something going on every minute. First,
Marion, watch Betty, dear. She's getting oatmeal all over the front of her dress.
And maybe a little later...
Johnny, were you playing in the coal bin again?
Yes, something's always going on. And that something has a way of adding to the family wash.
I'll say, it's a good thing for me I know about Rinso. You can bet it saves me plenty of elbow grease.
Sure. Rinso's soapy-rich suds make wash day lots easier. As little as a 10-minute soaking. A few quick finger rubs on stubborn places, and clothes are ready to rinse. You see, those peppy Rinso suds get out more dirt. So without hard rubbing or scrubbing, every piece in your wash comes Rinso white and Rinso bright.
The boys' overalls and the girls' colored school clothes come fresh and bright as can be.
Yes, Rinso's safe for washable colors.
And you should see my whitewash. Pillow slips, sheets, shirts, everything comes...
I know.
That's it. Rinso white.
Ladies, why don't you get Rinso tomorrow? And now, back to Amos and Andy. Well, it's the morning of the following day, the morning that the Kingfish and Andy are to bring to Mrs. Foster the adoption papers which will legally make Andy her son. At the moment, we find the Kingfish telling Amos and Andy about it.
Well, y'all have done a lot of things together, but this is certainly different from anything you done before.
Well, this is security for the future. I is all set.
Now, and about these adoption papers I done got from Gabby, it seems that he couldn't get no regular adoption papers. All he could find was automobile bill of sale.
Automobile bill of sale?
Yeah, well, how can you use that for adoption paper?
Yeah.
Well, me and Gabby done changed the word around so the thing really look legal. Now, I'll read it to you, and you see for yourself. If I hadn't told you that this was automobile bill of sale, you would think it was regular adoption paper.
Yeah, well, go ahead and read it.
Yeah, I want to hear this myself. Well, to see here, this is the certifier that Mrs. Bedella Foster has this day purchased and adopted the vehicle known as the Deluxe 1905 Andrew Hogg Brown. Let's see here, body type normal. Furthermore, it is warranted that said Andrew Hogg Brown is mechanically perfect, and all parts is guaranteed for 60 days. The dealer, George Kingfish Stevens, agrees to repair any part that breaks down except what is the result of ordinary wear and tear. Now, there you go. Well, now, Andy, here it is there, and here's the place where she signed, and here's the place where you signed.
Yeah, well, wait a minute, Kingfish. According to this, I is supposed to be automobile. You ain't never heard no Buick sign its own bill of sale, have you?
Well, fellas, this is really something. Here's Andy getting himself adopted by a rich old lady. You know, I never thought it would come to that. Well, I'll see you fellas later.
Well, you better be good to me, Amos, or I won't let you come over and play with me.
Well, good luck to you, fellas. So long. Yeah, don't pay no attention to Amos, Andy. Yeah, we're going to make that old lady very happy. I'm going to call her up now and tell her that we is coming over with adoption papers. Hand me the phone there.
Yeah, here you is.
Yeah, you see, Anna, as soon as we get her to sign adoption papers, we can ask her for your first week's allowance, and then after that, we get that, you see. Then we sit down with the money, then we start... Wait, hold it. Hello? Hello, Miss Foster? This is Mr. Stevens. How is the little mother today? Oh, well, that's fine, because we got the adoption papers all drawn up to bring over, and, what's that? Hold the phone a second. Andy.
What's the matter, King Vic?
Is you got any kinfolks here in town?
No, I ain't got no kinfolks up here. Why?
Miss Forza wants to be sure that if she adopts you, nobody going to be able to take you away, so she wants some relation of yours to authorize your adoption in person. She said if we don't do that, the deal is off.
But I ain't got no relations to authorize nothing.
Yeah, huh?
No.
Hello, Miss Forza. This is Mr. Stevens, the stalk again. It just so happens that Anders got a relation in town, uncle.
But I ain't got no uncle.
Yes, Miss Forza. We'll bring him right over to authorize adoption. Yes, ma'am. All right. Goodbye.
Listen, Kingfish, I just got through telling you I ain't got no kinfolks. How can you tell her that we is bringing over my uncle?
Because I was going to find somebody that is willing to be your uncle, and I got just the fellow in mind. Come on. Now, before knocks on Mrs. Foster's door here, let's go over it once more. You is supposed to be Anders' uncle, and you is authorizing adoption.
Yeah, you sure you got that straight?
Yeah, I know just what to do. I was Anders' Uncle Shorty, and I was okay in the adoption.
Yeah, that's it, Shorty. Now, you ain't nervous, is you?
Me nervous? I'm as calm as I'm just as cool as a cucumber. My nerves are just as steady as I ain't the least bit upset. What's my name again?
Now look here, Shorty. Get a hold of yourself now. I'm knocking on the door right now. Now look here. Now before Miss Foster open the door, Shorty, there's one more thing I just thought of. To make a good imprint on her, don't tell her that you was a barber. Tell her that you was a big businessman.
Now, hold it, Kingfish. I hear her coming.
Well, hello, Mr. Stevens. Andy, come right in.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Miss Foster, this is a relative of Andy's here, Shorty Brown. He's here to authorize adoption like you wanted.
Oh, that's fine. Well, Mr. Brown, before we go ahead, would you mind telling me just what your relationship to Andy is?
My relationship to Andy? Well, you see, Andy's sister was my wife's uncle. I mean, her father's mother was my brother's sister. His mother's father was my daughter's. I give him all his haircuts.
Now, don't mind Shorty, Miss Foster. He is the excitable type. What he's trying to say is that he is Andy's uncle.
Yeah, that's right. His father was my sister. Ain't that right, Uncle Shorty?
Yeah, I think that's how it was. Either that or his father was my sister.
Don't you know?
Well, you understand how it is. When you got a nephew that you're fond of, you don't go checking up on him.
Yeah, and Shorty is certainly fond of Andy. Now, that's why he's so glad Andy's getting such a nice mama.
Yeah, Uncle Shorty is certainly happy about it, all right.
Yeah, now, Shorty, let's get on this thing here. Here's the authorization all drawn up. Now, just sign there, and the President Miss Foster here. Here's a pen.
Yeah, I can see.
That's it.
There you is.
Yeah, well, here's the authorization, Miss Foster. Do that meet with your approval?
Oh, yes. Now Andy's really my son, and I'm his mama. This beautiful big house is now his home. Do you like it, Uncle Shorty?
Oh, I don't think this house is so beautiful. Ain't going to have a better place to stay. This ain't as pretty as I thought it would. This place ain't good enough. Ain't good enough for no. Can I move in too?
Well, then, big, beautiful house now for 3 days, and I figured it was time to drop by and see how you're doing. Is she give you your allowance yet?
Listen, Kingfish, so far, all the money Mama give me was a nickel yesterday for a popsicle.
A nickel for a popsicle? Boy, she really treating you like a baby, ain't she?
Yeah, and not only that, but tomorrow I'm getting vaccinated for whooping cough.
What I was interested in is how is this adoption? Is it going to pay off? I've been spending all my time on this thing with you, and I is broke.
Well, so was I. But I don't think it's going to pay off, Kingfish. She got a big house, all right, but she ain't got no help in the house. I begin to think the reason she adopted me was to get all the housework done for nothing. I was wore out, you know it?
Oh, no servants around, huh?
No.
She really working you, too, huh?
And how?
Yeah, that do sound like she broke all right, but wait a minute, Anna. Look, no use flying off the handle too quick here. We got too much invested. Maybe she just can't get servants.
No, I don't think that's it. I'm beginning to think that she ain't got no money.
Yeah, that must be it. She certainly don't look like the kind of person that would say that she got money when she ain't, though. And besides that, you just...
Andrew?
Oh.
Oh, Andrew. You didn't do what Mama told you. It's still on the table.
Yes, Mama. Excuse me, Kingfish. I gotta go drink my milk. Coming, Mama. Just been talking to a friend here.
Who is that with you?
Oh, it's just me, Mrs. Foster, the stock.
That's the doorbell, Andrew. Answer it. And if it's anything important, I'll be in the parlor.
All right, Mama. I'll open the door.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
What can we do for you, mister?
I'm Mr. Barstow from the Harlem Mortgage Company. Would you tell Mrs. Foster I'd like to see her?
The Harlem Mortgage Company, huh? What do you want to see about, mister?
A past due mortgage. She's expecting me.
Yeah, well, in that case, go right in. She's in the parlor there, sir. Kingfish, did you hear what he say? Harlem Mortgage Company?
Yeah, past due mortgage. Andy, you was right. She ain't got no money or she wouldn't have a past due mortgage on this house.
Yeah.
Adopting you was just a trick to get you to support her for the rest of her life and pay off the mortgage.
Yeah, come on, Kingfish. I'm leaving Mama a note saying that her son, Andrew H. Brown, is going back to being an orphan.
Well, Andy, it's been a week now since you walked out on your adopted mother. And you certainly ain't come around here to bother you none.
Oh, no. She knowed that we was wise to her, all right.
Yeah, we're back where we was, too. Broke.
Sure is.
Yeah, but that's better than having to pay for that past due mortgage of hers with the Harlem Mortgage Company.
Yeah, the nerve of that old lady, thinking she was going to rope me in. Wait a minute. Here comes Lightning. What you want, Lightning?
Mr. Amos just asked me to show you this thing in the day's newspaper. He'll be here in a second.
Oh, yeah. What is it, Kingfish?
Well, listen to this. Mrs. Berdella Foster, prominent Harlem widow, adopted James Fulton yesterday as her son. Mrs. Foster said that she had originally tried out another man as her son, but he failed to work out. However, James Fulton proved to be just the sort of son she was looking for. And after adopting him yesterday, gave him an adoption present of $20,000.
Well, that is crazy. How could she do that? She can't even pay off the past due mortgage on her house.
Oh, wait a minute. It's going to say here, Mrs. Foster is the widow of the former president of the Harlem Mortgage Company, in which she still holds the controlling interest.
Oh, me, that past... How'd you like that? That past due mortgage. It wasn't on her house. She held it on somebody else's house.
Brother Ender, we has just done lost $20,000.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Well, fellas, did you read it in the newspaper?
Yeah, Amos, it done made me sick.
I can hardly believe it, Amos.
There was a rich woman who wanted to adopt the boy, and I didn't go through with it.
You know, Ender had success, future, security, everything right in the palm of his hand there, and we muffed it. There was a rich woman that wanted a boy.
Oh, me, if ever I get a hold of somebody else that wants a boy, I'm really going to stick with it and never walk out on it.
Do you really mean that, Andy?
Oh, I give you my word on it.
Well, now, if you mean that, I happen to know somebody right now that wants a boy very badly.
Oh, no fooling, sure enough?
Will you go through with it this time, Andy?
I promise you, Amos, I will. Shake hands.
Great. It's a deal. Come on, let's go.
Right. Who is it?
It's the grocery store down the street that's got a sign out saying boy wanted.
Amos and Andy will be back at just a moment. Ladies, your stickiest, greasiest skillets, your stubbornest pots and pans get shiny bright in half the usual time if you'd first give them a short soak in Rinso's soapy rich suds. Use Rinso for all your soap and water jobs, and, of course, for clothes washing. You'll whistle while you wash.
Rinso white, happy little wash day song. Rinso white, birdies sing it all day long.
Your clothes are so white and the color so bright.
You'll sing as you work along.
Rinso white,
happy little wash day song.
Rinso will again present the Amos and Andy Show. This program is broadcast to our armed forces everywhere. This is Harlow Wilcox saying goodnight to all of you from all of us, and reminding you that 10,000 registered nurses are urgently needed by the United States Army. From every theater of the war, wounded are being sent home to Army hospitals in the United States. These men need the best of care. So if you're a registered nurse, this is your opportunity to serve with the United States Army. On acceptance by the Army Nurse Corps, you'll become a second lieutenant with full privileges, benefits, and pay, including an allowance for $250 for uniforms. If you're a registered nurse, write immediately to the Surgeon General, U.S. Army, Washington 25, D.C., or call at your local Red Cross chapter tomorrow. Say, try Lifebuoy in your next tub or shower. You'll go for that swell Lifebuoy lather. It's mild, efficient, and refreshing. But Lifebuoy's more than a great bath soap. It's the soap that's made especially to give all-over lasting protection against VO. Don't take chances. Use Lifebuoy. It's the only soap that's especially made to stop VO.
Hello, are you there? Well, we're here, and we've got Edna May Oliver with us.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ways better Swan soap.
Yes, sir. Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap that's 8 ways better than old-style floating soaps, presents Paul Whiteman. The Swanee announcer, Bill Goodwin. Our singer, Jimmy Cash. Well, hi, Swan. The stars of our show, George Burns and Tracy Allen. It's the new Burns and Allen show. And now we take you to their home the night before Christmas. The tree has been decorated, and George has gone to bed. Only Gracie and Herman, their little duck, are still downstairs in front of the fireplace.
Now, Herman, it's 11 o'clock, and it's time all good little ducks were fast asleep. Herman Burns, you go right to sleep. Well, all right. I'll tell you a bedtime story. Then will you go to sleep? Now, once upon a time, there was a little girl. She was very, very beautiful and very, very smart, and her name was Gracie. Well, one day she put on her red vest that she bought at Magnum's and took a short cut through the woods to visit her grandmother. And on the way, she met a valiant prince. The valiant prince. He was awful strong and handsome like your daddy George. All right, he was awful strong. So he was awful like your daddy. But when she got to her grandmother's, the Wicked Witch... Oh, remember the night we went to the movies and saw Edna May Oliver? That's right. Anyway, the Wicked Witch ate up little Gracie's grandmother and went to bed without even washing the dishes. Yes, she was very untidy. So they lived happily ever after. Now go to sleep. No, Herman, you're not going to get a double feature. Now go to sleep. And if you're a good little duck, your mama will take you way up to the North Pole to see Santa Claus. The North Pole is way, way, way... Well, it's so far that you couldn't even get up there without a magic carpet. Well, he finally fell asleep. Oh, I'm getting sleepy myself. Oh, take Herman, the Santa Claus, the North Pole magic carpet. Magic carpets are a little hard to get these days. Priorities, you know. Oh, look. There's a sign. North Pole, 3 million miles. We must be getting near Santa Claus's workshop. Oh, Ducky. You get your Christmas wish. Lots and lots of fish. Oh, Ducky. You're going to get the best from Santa Claus. Because Ducky, he knows that you've been good like little Ducky should. Oh, Ducky, he'll make you happy, wait and see. Oh, hold on, Herman. Santa Claus has quite a knack for making things you break your back for. He has a great big sack for all the toys that you could quack for. Ducky, you get a swimming pool to keep your feathers cool. Oh, Ducky, you're mighty lucky, Ducky Wucky. Oh, look, there's Santa's workshop. Hold on, Herman. Oh, my goodness, I'll have to get the brakes on this carpet rewoven. Gee, it's quiet up here. Where's Santa Claus?
Here I am.
Oh, why are you crying? You can't be Santa Claus.
Oh, sure I am, Gracie. I'm Chris Kringle in the flesh.
Oh, well, why are you crying? Did you forget to write yourself a letter?
No, the Wicked Witch stole all my Christmas toys, and now I won't have any presents to give to the good little boys and girls who brush their teeth. Or their feathers. Oh, ass and a whack, Gracie. Christmas will be a flop over.
Don't cry, Santa Claus. Be brave and strong like I am. Oh, imagine no presents for all little kitties. Or ducks.
Oh, look, here comes Aladdin.
Oh, Aladdin, good. All he's got to do is rub his magic lamp, and then he'll get us out of all this trouble.
Santa, listen, I'm in a terrible mess. Hello, Gracie.
Hello, Al.
Listen, Santa, the Wicked Witch stole my lamp. She cast a spell and made herself look like Lana Turner. Then she offered to hold the lamp while I kissed her.
Oh, that's awful.
Well, that isn't the worst of it. When she got the lamp, she broke the spell. You should see the difference between what I started to kiss and what I got through kissing.
Oh, poor Aladdin. So the Wicked Witch tricked you and stole your magic lamp?
Yes, Santa. And what a lamp. All you had to do was wish for anything you want and rub it.
Yeah?
And out came Swan soap.
No genie?
Genie? Who wants a genie when you can get Swan? Why, Swan is a brand new white floating soap that's 8 ways better than old-style floating soap.
If you rubbed the lamp and got Swan soap, what would you get if you rubbed the soap?
Suds, suds, and more suds. Why, Swan gives loads of rich, creamy suds. And twice as fast, too, even in the hardest water. That's why Swan is not only great for washing the dishes, but it's also swell for hankies and hose and lingerie.
Lingerie? What's that?
Well, come here, Santa.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, up here we wear wet flannels.
Yes, and Swan wears a green wrapper with a white swan on her flanks.
Hey there, whose magic carpet is that parked outside in front of the fire float?
Well, it's mine, officer.
Well, you'd better be bogus, and I'll be giving you a ticket.
Aha! And would a big, handsome lad like yourself, all decked out in a nice blue uniform, be after giving a little Irish Callie a ticket?
That lolly will do you no good. I'm an Eskimo.
Come, Herman, we're going. Well, we've got to get Santa's toys back. And Santa Claus, when I find the Wicked Witch, I'll send Herman back here. You jump on his back and fly to the castle.
Oh, I'm too heavy. It's impossible for me to fly on a whittle duck's back.
Oh, nothing's impossible for a man who can be at the May Company and Bullocks at the same time. Come on, Herman. The magic carpet is waiting. Well, we're off to find the witch.
Hey there. How about a lift?
Oh, now, who's that? Oh, it's a hitchhiker on top of that iceberg. I'll pull up and give him a ride. Well, how far my magic carpet? We're in a big hurry.
Thanks, lady. Well, I'm certainly glad you came along. What was that just passed us?
Oh, a couple of those high school kids on a piece of linoleum.
Darn those jalopies.
Oh, who are you?
Who am I? I'm the bravest man in the world.
Why, Errol Flynn. What happened to your face?
That's not my name. I'm Prince Valiant.
Oh, how do? I'm Gracie.
I'm the world's greatest hero. I fear no man. I fear no beast. Take him away. Take him away. Help! Help!
Oh, he won't hurt you. That's just my little duck.
Oh.
Herman, stick your wing out. I'm going to make a turn. You know, Prince Valiant, there's something very familiar about your face. Were you ever in vaudeville?
I still am. I just finished a split week at Lowe's North Pole.
Oh, I knew your face was familiar.
Well, I'm thinking about a new act, and I'm looking for a leading lady. Maybe you'd like to support me.
You know, there's something familiar about that, too.
I guess I should have stayed on the iceberg.
Well, I'll go to land and find out where I am.
Oh, look. Here comes a little boy down the road.
Hello.
Hello. I'm very hungry. Have you some supper I can sing for?
What's your name?
Little Tommy Tucker.
Oh, well, here, have a Swiss cheese sandwich. You can eat it and sing through the holes at the same time.
Thanks.
Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Sounds of the rude world heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. Beautiful dreamer, queen of my song, lest while I woo thee with soft melody, gone are the cares of life's busy throng. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me.
Gee, that was beautiful, little Tommy Tucker.
Tell me, do you have to sing for your supper every night?
Yes, or the Wicked Witch will cut off one of my legs.
Oh, she wouldn't do that.
No, she only says that to scare me. Well, I've got to be hopping along.
Well, goodbye. Come on, Herman. We've got to find that Wicked Witch. Oh, I'll tell that Wicked Witch a thing or two, believe me. You just wait till I see that Wicked Witch.
So, you would like to see the Wicked Witch, eh? Me guileless one.
Oh, hello. Nice day, isn't it?
It's beastly, but I'm hoping it will cloud up. Little does she realize that I'm the Wicked Witch in the flesh, what there is of it.
Well, I'll see you later, Gracie.
Do you live around here?
Who knows where I live? One day a lonely kettle in the hills, the next a crowded city street. Today a villa by the sea, tomorrow a mountain retreat.
My, how do you do it? We've been trying to break our lease for months.
I've had enough of this shilly-shallying, me girl.
Do you know, you look exactly like someone I've seen in the movies. Now, let me see.
Well, is it Annie Sheridan, or are we going to argue about it?
Anne Sheridan? Oh, no, I'm not that silly. Oh, I know who it was. Shirley Temple.
Don't be fantastic. There's a good 20 years difference between us. And a few bad ones, too.
Well, it's been awfully nice meeting you, but I really must be going.
Wait. You're looking for the Wicked Witch, eh? And just what do you want to see her for?
Well, because I've got to get Santa's toys back.
Oh, I see. You know what the Wicked Witch will do to you? She will transform you into a pain-racked mass of quivering flesh. Then wring your pretty neck and toss your body to the vultures.
Oh, you're sweet. Well, you shouldn't worry about me. In fact, I'm a little worried about you.
About me? Why, may I ask?
Well, you're all alone out here in the woods, and there might be some men hanging around.
A man where? Oh.
All over. I don't suppose you could direct me to the castle of the Wicked Witch.
Just straight ahead. You can't miss it. The walls are made from bones of skeletons, and the cornices are decorated with human skulls.
Oh, I couldn't live in a house like that.
Why not?
No barbecue pit. Well, thanks anyway.
You're quite welcome. Little does she know that I have given her the wrong direction. The treacherous swamps lie in her path. Those swamps have killed hundreds of men. Darn it.
Well, goodbye. Come on, little Duffy.
Oh, what a cute little duck.
Oh, yes, he's just like my own son. His name is Herman.
Oh, indeed. Little does she know that tonight I shall dine on roast Long Island Herman. Well, goodbye.
Oh, gee, she's gone. She's disappeared. Come, Herman, we've got to find Herman. Where's Herman? Herman! Herman!
Gracie, are you still in trouble, or can I come back?
Oh, valiant prince. Herman is missing. He must have been duck-napped.
Duck-napped? Then the woman you were talking to must have been the Wicked Witch herself.
Well, how do you like that? And she talks just like a Vassar girl.
Look, there's a duck feather.
Oh, and there's another one. Herman must be pulling out his tail feathers to leave a trail. Well, now we can find the Wicked Witch's castle. Come on, let's go.
Look, there's another feather.
Oh, I hope poor Herman isn't catching cold. Oh, look. Is that a blimp up there?
Hello, kids. That's no blimp. That's Humpty Dumpty sitting on a wall.
Oh, gee, isn't he big and round? He must be at least 65 cents a dozen.
Say, Humpty Dumpty, we're looking for the Wicked Witch. Will you come and help us?
I will, just as soon as I finish eating.
Well, when will you be through?
That's funny. Somebody asked me that same question 20 years ago.
Didn't you ever do anything else but eat?
I don't know. When I get home, I'll look in my diary.
Oh, please help us, Humpty Dumpty. The Wicked Witch stole all of Santa's toys.
Oh, then I'll go with you. Then I'll take along this spaghetti to tie her up.
Gosh, you don't eat that much spaghetti.
Don't worry, it won't go to waste.
Oh.
Well, I'll call all my eggs together. Wait, I'm going to blow on this lamb chop.
Oh, what do you think of that? He blew the paper panties right off the chop.
All right, eggs, we're off to get the whip. Keep your sunny sides up.
We're off to get the witch. We're off to get the witch. Hi-ho, the cherry-o, we're off to get the witch. We're hunting for the witch.
at the witch's castle.
Well, what happened to Humpty Dumpty and his gang? My, how those eggs scrambled.
Well, don't worry, Gracie. The valiant prince will protect you. I'm not afraid.
How do your legs feel?
My legs? Fine.
Then I'll put you down. Oh, look. Herman's tail feathers lead right up to the steps. Wasn't it smart of him to leave a trail for us? If we get the toys back, he'll be a hero.
It'll certainly put a feather in his cap.
Oh, that's not where he needs them.
What a ghastly-looking castle.
Oh, wait. Here's one more of Herman's feathers. I'll pick it up and save it for him. Oh, he hasn't dropped this one yet. Oh, my, I'm glad to see you, Herman. Now, quick, you fly to the North Pole and bring back Santa Claus. Oh, and Herman, don't fly backwards. You'll catch cold.
Well, if we're going in to get the Wicked Witch, I better knock on the door. Well, she's gone. Come on, let's go.
No. Wait, Valiant Prince, I'll knock.
Oh, it's a skeleton.
Sí, soy esqueleto y tengo mucho gusto de verlos por aquí.
My goodness, Mr. Skeleton. You shouldn't walk around that way. You'll catch your death of cold. You want to get goose pimples?
On me they would not show. I am the witch's butler. Come in.
Oh, poor man. That witch must be a slave driver. Look, he's worked his fingers and everything else to the bone.
Oh, no, señorita. The work here is very easy.
Then how did you become a skeleton?
I was a heavy loser in a street poker game.
Well, come on, Gracie. The witch isn't home, I hope.
Archie is expecting you. Step right into the torture chamber and make yourselves comfortable.
Will we have to wait long to see the witch?
Oh, no, she just arrived. She is outside tying up her bat.
Oh, was she on one?
Si, señorita. While you are waiting, Senor Prince, would you like an arsenic and soda or a beer?
I'll have a beer.
Fine. Little does he know that the beer is spelled B-I-E-R.
Oh, my, what an adorable torture room. I'll bet she subscribes to the Witch's Home Journal.
Gracie.
Who is it?
It's Aladdin. I sneaked in here and got my magic lamp back, and I'm hiding in this tub of boiling oil.
Oh, well, just keep cool.
Well, don't worry. If there's any way to escape, the valiant prince will find it.
Come back from that door.
Well, it's locked anyway.
You know, the witch is not much of a hostess. She's forgotten all about us.
Forgotten you? Not at all, me pretty.
Oh, there you are. Miss Witch, I'd like you to meet my friend, Prince Valiant.
Yes, I saw him once before at a distance, and it's still a shock.
Well, we've come to get Santa Claus's toys back. May we have them?
Patience, me pet. At the moment, I have other plans for you.
Really?
Oh, quite. For the next hour, I will twist the hair down the back of your neck. I will plaster hot mud on your face. I will pluck your eyebrows out, one by one.
Oh, what do you charge for a manicure? I always pay cash.
I'll break your spirit yet. Perhaps it would be better to torture Prince Valiant first and show you how nasty I can be.
No. Please don't hurt me.
I will summon me ugly slaves.
Yes, your wickedness.
Put Prince Valiant on the stretching machine. Now watch closely, Gracie, while we stretch his body inch by inch.
Come on.
Aladdin, rub the magic lamp and get some help.
I am rubbing it, but all I'm getting is Swan soap.
Swan soap? What's that?
What's that?
Why, only the first really new white floating soap since the gay 90s, that's all. Why, Swan is 8 ways better than old-fashioned floating soap.
Aladdin, will you rub the lamp and get some help?
In a minute. Look, Witch. Witch, see how white Swan is?
My, how good it smells. Come, Kruskin. Turn the screws.
Aladdin, will you rub the lamp? She's going to split.
In a minute. And Swan is pure and gentle. As mild as the finest imported Castile soaps. Just grand for bathing the baby. And so easy on your hands when you wash dishes.
Aladdin, hurry. They're going to break me in two.
They are. Swan is really a twin bar. Break it in two.
Break it in two.
And use one half in the kitchen and the other half in your bathroom for your tub or shower.
Flip the lamp. Flip the lamp. Flip the lamp.
And
Flip
don't
the
forget,
lamp.
Witchy, the Swan comes in a green wrapper with a white swan on the front.
Help! Help!
Awfully noisy in here, don't you think? Would you like a cup of tea?
Oh, I'd love some, Miss Witch.
Come, let's go into my parlor, little fly. That Prince Valiant is really carrying on.
Oh, probably growing pains.
Yeah. Shall I pour the tea?
Please. Oh, my. There's nothing like a cup of good hot tea. Don't you think so?
You know, you're a most unusual person, Gracie. I may call you Gracie, may I not?
Well, of course,
Gwendolyn.
Oh, of course, Gwen.
As I was saying, you're a most unusual person. You make me feel a little ashamed of myself.
Oh, really? Oh, I just knew you had a good side, Queen. I always say that there's so much worse in the bad of us and so much least in the good of us that it ill best to behoove us to say anything. That's what I always say.
Yeah. And somebody understands you?
Oh, yes. But tell me, how did you become such a wicked person?
Naturally, a man was the cause of it all, my dear. What else can make a woman's heart feel as though it would burst? And alternately give her goose flesh and fever.
Well, speaking personally, a Welsh rabbit.
Perhaps. But I shall tell you, Miss Story. It begins some years ago at the turn of the century.
Which century?
I won't go into that. It was then that Christopher came into my life. Presently, the whole town was talking of Gwendolyn and Christopher.
Yes, go on.
Ah, what a man. He was like Tyrone Power, and just enough wise mother to make him interesting. Enter!
Pardon my rattling, Senorita Witch, but there is a man outside to see you. He is wearing a red suit and a white beard.
Oh, it's Santa Claus. Come in, Santa.
Oh, Gracie, I got you. Gwendolyn.
Christopher Kringle! You came back to me!
My little dream girl.
Ah, the love of my life. Here's your bag of toys.
Now I can make me quit Mr. Wivery.
And I'll go with you and help spread the joy.
Oh, and now all the kiddies will have a Merry Christmas after all. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, the Valiant Prince, I almost forgot him. Oh.
Gracie, wake up. Wake up!
Oh, my goodness, George. Oh, I've been asleep. I've just had the most wonderful dream. Gee, you look short.
Well, come on, let's go up. It's 1 o'clock.
Herman is still asleep. You'll wake him up.
Well, give him to me. I'll carry him up.
Oh, now you're welcome, Ma.
Remember, folks, buy Swan, try Swan. See for yourself if Swan isn't really 8 ways better than old-style floating soap. And now, once again, George and Gracie.
I want to thank Edna May Oliver for appearing with us tonight, and in behalf of the entire cast and our sponsor, the makers of Swan, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
And that goes double for me.
Oh, and triple for Herman. Good night.
Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. Until then, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I Swan, why don't you?